Your host, Parker, Dan, and Angela slice and dice their way through the good.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
The bad.
You brought the devil!
There's a devil inside everyone.
And the ugly movies you love.
And you can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it!
Hold your favorite films and franchises tight, because they aren't safe. In fact, it's already too late. It's time to dissect that film.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dissect That Film podcast, a podcast that dissects the good, the bad, and the ugly of cinema. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, my wonderful co-hosts, Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Hello.
And joining us today is 1/3 of one of my favorite podcasts out there. We have the wonderful Patrick O'Reilly of the Vintage Video Podcast here. Welcome, Patrick.
Hey, everybody. Good to be here.
So happy to finally have you on the show. We talk about you all the time, talk about your show all the time. As our listeners might know, I did have a show that was connected to your show for about 5 or 6 weeks. And then it all fell apart because I couldn't keep up. And then I just said, you know what? I'm just going to watch the movies instead of making videos on them. But, I mean, tell everybody what Vintage Video is.
Sure. Well, Vintage Video is an 80s rewatch podcast, but we're going chronologically through every theatrical release of the decade. So we started in January of 1980. We did every movie that was in theaters that year, which I think is around 210 or 212 movies now. And then in 81, we did another couple hundred for the full release year. And for 82, I think we're closer to 250, maybe on the way to 300 titles. It's going to take us like 4 years to get through. But the plan is to cover everything that got a theatrical release, and hence everything that's eligible for any of the major awards shows, so that we can sort of redecide them with our re-Oscars specials. And it's been a lot of fun. You jumped in at the beginning of our 3rd season to cover the films of 1982, but January is the worst time to start because everything in January and February is a nightmare watch that studios had no faith in. So it's the hardest stuff to get through, and we're slogging through it right now, but there's a lot of fun stuff in 82. We're excited about, the ETs, the Thing. There's so many like great sci-fi and horror films coming out later this year that we can't wait to get to. So
I'm super excited. I mean, we've covered both ET and The Thing on the show, so we love those movies. And yeah, it's gonna be great when I'm listening to your episode and then you say what you're gonna be talking about next week. It's like ET. Oh, a great excuse to watch ET again. Oh darn.
Yeah.
But yeah, initially, for everybody who doesn't know, I did start a kind of a watch along video, like short little show called the Vintage Video. I don't even remember what the hell the show was called, but I pretty much was watching the movies that you guys were covering, and then I would make my own little short review on it. But unfortunately, because of the show and a lot of other things that were going on, I fell behind. I was like 4 movies behind, and then I got overwhelmed, and I kind of just went, I'm going to still watch the movies, and I'm going to rate them on Letterboxd. I'm going to keep going with watching the movies, but the video content will have to wait. Maybe I'll hop back in later on in the year, but yeah,
when
it's been a lot of fun.
When the titles are better.
yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of work to commit to on top of a whole podcast on your own.
Welcome to my life, where I just go, oh yeah, I'll do this, that, and this, and then 2 out of those
just
3
overcommit constantly.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think I just got really excited. I'm like, I'm watching all the movies that you're covering this year, and boy, has it been interesting. Possibly, I've watched the worst movie I've ever seen this year. It's called Blood and Money. So if you've heard of it,
Love and Money,
or is it Love and Money? So I just said Blood and Money.
I think it has different titles in different regions, but the one that we saw was Love and Money.
Love and Money. See, it's so bad I can't get the name of the movie right. Why do people like Klaus Kinski? Can I just say that out loud? I don't know.
Because he's creepy. He's a weirdo.
He is good at that. All right, go ahead, Dan.
Okay, Patrick, I have not listened to your show. Honestly, I totally forgot you're going to be here. I want to listen to an episode or two. I try to. And what do you do in the instance of multiple films releasing on the same day? Is it like alphabetical order, or?
Well, what we did for the first season, for the year 1980 was obviously like COVID times, so we were all home, so we just did them on the anniversaries. So we covered all 168 films within the year. But since then we've been going chronologically one per week. And like you said, if there's a bunch, like I think February 12th of 82, there was like 12 or 13 releases. We do them in alphabetical order by title.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. I figured that's what you probably do. That seems like the logical way of doing it, but I don't know.
And some of these release dates are so shaky anyway that I don't really know how to trust them. I figure that's as close a way as any way to be even about it. So yeah,
that works for me.
I think it was like your first 5 or 6 episodes was like release date January 1st, 1982.
Right. And what that means is that all I could determine from my research is that it came out in January, but I didn't have a release date, or that it came out this year and didn't have a release date. And so I always default to the earliest possible date for those. So we end up having a bunch on January 1st that were probably direct to video, but I couldn't prove they didn't have a theatrical release, so we cover them anyway.
I think you must do some really deep research when it comes to release dates, because there are so many movies that I've looked up to watch along with the show, and it'll tell me it came out in like 1981, it came out in 1980. I'm like, is this the right movie? And then you go to look at the release dates, and there's like 10 of them, and you're like,
which one is it?
Yeah, we try to go by what IMDb says was the US release date, or at least the widest release date that wasn't like a private film festival. But that's not always accurate. IMDb is all user submitted information. So, and it changes often. You wouldn't expect a 40-year-old movie's release date to change as many times in a year as it does. But a lot of times people will be like, well, that wasn't 82, that was 1980. And it's like, well, IMDb says, never mind, they changed it. Now it says 1980. Whatever. We'll cover it eventually.
Yeah, I really miss when IMDb wasn't like that, when you could actually rely on it more. But we've always been transparent to say that most of the info that we get about movies, IMDb or even Wikipedia, and we know that Wikipedia is the same way. People can just kind of write whatever they want, but I feel you can tell when something is closer to the facts, especially if you watch behind the scenes. But yeah, I'm not a deep research kind of guy. We just break down plots of movies, so. Allegedly, yeah. But today is my pick for our Movies with Wheels month, and this is a movie that is near and dear to my heart. This is a movie I watched a lot as a kid. I remember the DVD. It wasn't the original cover or the cover that we have on the beautiful Vestron Blu-ray that I have back here. It was just the generic tractor trailer truck looking like it's going at like 100 miles an hour towards a camera.
Yeah.
But me and my brother used to watch it like every week, and we were talking about 1986's Maximum Overdrive. So Maximum Overdrive was the only film to be written and directed by StephenKing. This was partially based on his short story called Trucks, which he wrote originally in 1973, but then it was put into his first collection, like a short story collection called Night Shift in 1978. And Dino De Laurentiis, who is, we've talked about him a couple times on the show. He was behind Silver Bullet. I think he was behind Firestarter. He was a big time King guy. He produced a lot of King stuff. And was Martha his wife, or was Martha his like daughter? I don't remember, but they were business partners. There was Dino and Martha De Laurentiis, and Martha was the one who kind of pushed Steven into finally stepping behind going behind the camera and directing one of his adaptations.
Yeah,
at least according to her. Infamously, StephenKing was coked up the entire time he was making this movie. There are many reports from people who worked on the film who said that they don't remember him ever being like super erotic or like just acting like somebody who would be high on coke all the time. But there are a lot of reports saying that he was drinking pretty much every day from like 8 a.m. to whenever they were done shooting for the day, which would be, could be from, 7, 8. I think the latest would be like 11 or 12 at night. So yeah, there was a lot of substance abuse on set, but according to the actors and producers and everybody who worked on the film, they said it was actually a fun time on set, even though there was an accident that left a famous cinematographer literally without an eye.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Absolute anarchy. This was filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina, because back then in the 80s, North Carolina had a tax. It was like tax exempt for films being made there. And so Dino De Laurentiis actually created a movie studio in Wilmington, North Carolina. And I think they did 4 Stephen King movies in Wilmington. And one of them was Firestarter, which we've talked about on the show.
Oh, yeah.
What is this, like our 4th Stephen King adaptation we've talked about? We did Firestarter, we did Silver Bullet, we did Pet Sematary for the guys that Give Me Back My Action and Horror. And so, yeah, this would be our fourth time. Yep. Go ahead, Patrick.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think North Carolina still has a pretty solid production hub for movies and stuff like that. I think part of Iron Man 3 was shot out there. That whole sequence where they're putting the president in the Iron Man suit to protect him from
in Iron Man,
the people with the extremist powers.
Yep. So a lot of the special features on the Vestron Blu-ray were kind of looked like just quick interviews with different actors and different producers and stuff. And one of them was interviewing people around the Wilmington area who were associated with the film or associated with De Laurentiis. And I guess as of 2018, I mean, it might have changed since then, because I think Iron Man 3 came out in 2013.
I think as
of 2018, North Carolina, their film exempt card was pulled. So now I think it's like South Carolina. Mostly, a lot of it's done in Georgia. You have New Orleans, that a lot of filming is done. So they pretty much had to shut everything down. I think Screen Gems is still out of North Carolina, which is a pretty big time.
And I know Unreal is out there, right? Because they do a lot of
Yep. It's not every time I think of Screen Gems, I just think of that terrible Resident Evil franchise.
It wants hugs.
What?
It wants hugs.
The Resident Evil franchise?
Fuck yeah! It's a sad.
Paul W.S. Anderson ain't getting no hug from me.
Neither is that
if I ever meet that man.
And neither is that motherfucker who did Welcome to Raccoon City. All right. Don't.
Don't get me started, Dan. Don't get me started on Resident Evil. We're talking about Maximum. I'm in a good mood, okay? I want to talk about a good movie, a fun movie.
We were sitting here bitching. We're literally talking about production. Hey, listen. we're bitching about production locations. It's like, I thought it was horse shit. They took the tax exemption, and I keep laughing every time somebody mentions tax exemption because I think of SpongeBob. But tax exemption. Anyway, because it's always Georgia. I always see the fucking peach. All right, no offense, but I see the fucking peach, and I was like,
"You're about to get in trouble."
All of our Georgia listeners just woo.
I'm from Georgia.
She's from Georgia. It's not that great.
We all don't have the same opinions as Dan and Dissect That Film.
Atlanta's just a Delta hub. That's all it is.
Well, I think Burt Reynolds is largely responsible for the Atlanta filming locations because he went there so often in the 70s because that was like his stomping ground at the time. That's where they did Deliverance and Sharky's Machine, and he kept bringing people back to that state to shoot stuff, and they kept adding more production value to the state, and then suddenly everything's there now.
Damn you, Burt!
On Leon Reynolds.
I heard he had a great time on Boogie Nights.
Who?
So this movie stars Emilio Estevez in kind of his prime Brat Pack form. We have
before he coached a hockey team.
Yeah, before he coached a hockey team. Before he was part of the I'm trying to think of Emilio Estevez movies, and my brain just shut off.
Fuck,
I'm not even going to make any jokes. We got Commissioner Gordon 3 years before he would be Commissioner Gordon in Tim Burton's Batman. We got Pat Hingle. We have Laura Harrington, Christopher Murney. We have Lisa Simpson herself, Yardley Smith.
Yeah.
Quit it. Quit it.
Oh,
Quit it.
I
Now
have-
you stop it, Clancy. I'm trying to
yeah.
watch my stories.
We have John Short. We have Frankie Faison. This is our second movie that we've talked about Frankie Faison since we talked about him in Silence of the Lambs. And let's see who else we got here. And we got a young Giancarlo Esposito. Gus Fring himself is in this.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I've seen this movie a lot, and I didn't know he was in this movie until after I had watched Breaking Bad. Because to be honest, I didn't really know who Giancarlo Esposito was. I know he was in a lot of Spike Lee movies, and I know he's been established for a long, long time. I just didn't watch a lot of stuff that he was in, so I had no clue who he was. And then I remember somebody going, "Yeah, he's Gus Fring is in Maximum Overdrive," and I went, "No, he's not." And then I see, I'm like, "Oh yeah." It doesn't look like him. It really was really hard to tell.
He kind of took a turn in his career too, where he started to play these really serious, like intimidating, like boss man types, where he's like always the leader of an organization who's like ordering henchmen around. Now he's like just permanent supervillain, when back in the day he was like, he had all this attitude, and he was like, it's a completely different character what he plays now than what he used to play then. We just saw our first appearance from him on our show was in Taps recently, and we didn't even recognize him on the first watch because he's so young in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it wasn't the fact that I missed him. It was just like I didn't know who he was. So it was like,
yeah,
it was just another guy. And StephenKing, of course, makes a cameo in this movie. I love his cameo in this movie. It's so good.
Always.
It's so good.
Always.
I love his cameos in whatever movie he's in, because he made a cameo in Pet Sematary as the preacher at the cemetery, or at the funeral, and his sermon was great. Couldn't remember a word, but it was great. So yeah, if you guys, do you have anything you want to bring fact-wise before we actually jump into the plot, Patrick?
I didn't pull up a lot of trivia on the film before I watched it. But I had only seen this for the first time, I think, last year. I don't know why I had waited so long to see it, but obviously I really enjoyed it. It made sense to me that he was on coke the whole time, because it kind of reads that way, but also that's how he writes books. So why wouldn't he make movies like that? It's a little more acceptable when you're writing a book, because you're not ruining anyone else's day when you're just up in your attic scribbling. But
scribbling, doing a line every 10 pages.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, even though it was 4 years before, this had a way more coherent last third than the last movie we talked about, who the dude was on coke the whole, or there was a bunch of coke on set, Days of Thunder.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I guess because they didn't have $1 million worth of coke on.
Yeah. So the production of it's in the episode, but I might as well say it again. The Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson paid $1 million just for a coke room during the making of Days of Thunder. So we're just talking about a lot of coke in our movies with Wheels Month.
What they go hand in hand, I guess.
Yeah. They make you go fast.
I guess.
In your own brain. I don't know. So actually, a little bit more I do want to mention. The cinematography was done by Armando Nanuzzi, who is a famous Italian cinematographer. Music was all done by AC/DC. I love that. Even in the credits in the beginning, they don't just put AC/DC, it's their logo. I was like,
right, yeah.
They were like, you better put that Thunderbolt in the middle of AC/DC. You can't.
And then we see it again right away, because there's the AC/DC van on the bridge.
Yeah,
as the robber is getting brought up.
This was released July 25th, 1986. It ran at 98 minutes.
Oh, I was 4 days old when this motherfucker came out.
Same week.
Hell yeah. Keep going, sorry.
Had a budget of $9 million. And according to Wikipedia, which I don't know how this works, had a box office of $7.4 million or $3.5 million in North America. So maybe the 7.4 is worldwide? Global, yeah. I don't think it had a very long theatrical run because it didn't get very good reviews. It got a bunch of Razzie nominations for Best Director and think best screenplay. So yeah, this movie came out of the gate kind of with a whimper, and Stephen King kind of disavows this movie. He he hates talking about it. He pretty much, this is the reason why he hasn't directed a movie since, pretty much. I think like the famous question was like, oh, why haven't you directed a movie since? And all he say is go watch Maximum Overdrive.
Right.
And I go, sir, I do all the time, and it's great. I don't know what you're talking about. You should direct another movie.
Why aren't you doing more of
fun.
those?
They're fun. What do you want?
Isn't Earth going to cross paths with that meteor again? We need more of that.
Statistically, it has to happen again.
Oh my god, it's just hilarious. Actually, I need to find the opening text to the.
Would the sequel be called "To Maximum to Overdrive"?
That would work. It can't be more than the maximum though. So exceeding the maximum overdrive.
Oh, maybe.
So supposedly,
To Maximum to
there was
Overdrive.
this month we're also going to be covering on our Out of the Tubi series. We're going to be covering 1997's Trucks, which is the kind of a remake prequel. They say it's advertised as a prequel to Maximum Overdrive, but I don't know how that makes sense.
Wait, like legally advertised as a prequel?
Yes. Like if you look it up, it'll say it's a prequel to Maximum Overdrive. It doesn't make sense, and I can't wait to watch it and talk about it.
I've never even heard of this.
Yeah, so I guess it was
my fault.
It was they were trying to make a more loyal movie to King's short story. But literally King's short story is Maximum Overdrive if you read it. Like there's some minor changes, like it's mostly characters, but it's kind of the same exact thing. It's like there's a meteor.
But that's why they used the short story's title for the prequel story.
Yeah.
To make it
Which
legally
is the lamest
distinct.
name, just Trucks.
I remember when we rented it. Oh God, why did we pick that movie?
I don't know. I'm trying to find what is said at the beginning of the movie. I'm just gonna have to guess.
The crawl.
The crawl there. Yeah, it was like it also takes place in 1987. All right, so we're like, well, it's the next year.
I guess so.
All right. Well, if you all ready, I'm ready. Let's go, Dan. You know what time it is.
Yep.
It's time to
I do. Hang on.
dissect
that
film.
Hey! We'll get there, or we won't. It's whatever.
I was waiting. I was like, and he didn't say
it.
anything.
Nope.
You did, and I was like, oh no.
And then the connection lines up. We'll figure it out.
Our podcast is chaos.
That's
It's like
what
this
we
movie.
are.
Yeah.
So we are shown Earth, and we get like a title crawl. It's not really a crawl. It's just like a little excerpt that pops up, which I guess wasn't originally going to be part of the movie. The beginning and the end part that shows like what happens wasn't supposed to be in the movie. It was kind of supposed to just be heard on the radio about like possibly this comet is causing this to happen.
Night of the Living Dead style.
Yeah,
that's literally what I was just about to say. Yes.
So pretty much it was like July something 1987. The Rhea 7 comet passes over the Earth, and it leaves its trail, which lasts for 7 days.
Right.
And I'm just thinking of like, you pick up the phone like when the comet goes by, and you just constantly hear. You're like, I didn't watch the tape.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not that voice. It's when you pick it up. It's like
It's
the
just-
time is 7 days, X amount of hours, and it's down to like the second. I'm like, all right.
Or it's the voice you hear in the burger thing later. Where it's just like humans here. Oh, geez, wrong number.
Like I don't think that's how that would work. Like, can you still order there? Like, dude, I know we're humans, but I want a shake. Can you get that for me?
And some fries.
I mean, what I love about the beginning of this movie is that things just start so fast. There is no build up. It's just immediately things are going haywire. Literally, you are shown the front of a bank,
good.
and it just says "fuck you" going by. And then this is where you have Stephen King's cameo. Oh, also, it shows you that we're in Wilmington, North Carolina. So they didn't even put you in a different place.
Right.
We're in the place they filmed the movie. So it's like, all right, I guess that's pretty cool.
At the First Bank of Wilmington.
Fuck you.
I got a question. Do you think the movie would have been better without the title, the opening and ending bit, like the text?
I
Like, if
don't
didn't
think it
tell you,
really
you need to start.
matters, to be honest. I don't even think it would affect me
Okay.
in any way knowing that this comet. Like, I think if you have it, their original idea was having it like people on the radio are talking about the events and kind of making, hypothesis about like what's going on, and
Yeah.
people are kind of trying to figure it out. Because even later on, Emilio Estevez and Brett, yes, the main woman's name is Brett, and I was like, cool. Even women can have my name.
Parker.
Yeah. And she's talking about the fact that, if it's the meteor that's causing this, then we have 6 days left. We got to survive or whatever. So I think it wouldn't have mattered. It's fine that it's there. But if it wasn't there at all, I don't think it would have affected my viewing experience of it. But I don't know.
I wasn't as bothered by the prologue as I was by the epilogue, because the wording is so strange at the end of it, where it's like 2 days later this thing happened, and then 6 days later this other thing happened. It's like, I don't care about either one of those things. Like, why are you telling me about this? And also the fact that it says the second one says 6 days later, but the first half says 2 days after, and the word after just reads so strange in the epilogue. I had to read it 3 or 4 times to even understand what it was trying to say.
You're just sitting there, you're like, I'm so confused. I guess I'm just going to wait 10 just to be sure, okay? Because I don't know what day it is.
But it's like the story was already over. I didn't need to know about a UFO that got blown up somewhere that we never even saw.
Yes! That's the end one. I'm like, what? You're reading that just in awe. Just, what?
I kind of wish it wasn't there. Like, I just wish it was just like
the end part didn't need. I think the first one is fine. It kind of explaining the fact that the comet is the reason that this is all happening. But why did we need to know that the Russians blew up a UFO?
Right.
At the end, like, why does that matter now? It's over.
It should have just been radiation doing this, not like an intelligent species in space.
People love their aliens. Oh, man. So, yeah, I mean, I love King's cameo here, where he's literally at the ATM and he puts it in. It's just, you are an asshole. And then he's like, hey, sugar bum, can you come over here real quick? He's like acting like a way older man. Can you come look at this? And then it just says asshole. It just keeps flying by. He's like, this idiot called me an asshole.
This machine just called me an asshole.
I feel like he always plays the same character in his cameos too.
I love the sunglass, the flip glasses.
Yeah,
I love those. Oh. And then we get the awesome Who Made Who song from AC/DC, which is hilarious because the Who Made Who album was a legit, like, their next studio album, but on the back of the album it states Who Made Who is also the official soundtrack for Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
Badass, dude.
Imagine you're just like, there's no really, like, it's all AC/DC in this movie. There's no other music.
But in
I
position,
didn't know it either. So here I am.
Yeah.
They started playing music and I started singing to it. And I was like, see,
song.
I called it. And Dan's like, yeah, they did all the music for it. And I'm like, oh, shit.
It was sort of fun because you're like, there's a lot of AC/DC in this. I was like, yeah, they did the soundtrack. She's like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, they really like their AC/DC.
But you
Yeah,
can't
do
blame
have
them, though. I
safety
mean,
glasses on right now?
at the time, the
Yeah,
King
I know you feel
adaptations
it
were...
alone. I'm sorry, Patrick, you finish, and then we'll...
Oh, no worries.
No.
I was just going to say the King adaptations were doing so well. I understand completely why they were like, yeah, we'll do a whole soundtrack for you. If you're directing it, like, obviously you're going to keep doing this forever, right? That just didn't work.
Yeah. Jokes on them.
About
Yes.
that.
I didn't want you to feel it left out,
thanks,
Parker. Like,
man.
if it was closer at the beginning, I would have just grabbed it. I was like, safety glasses are in there. I was like, I'm
Stop
wearing...
wearing safety glasses, though.
Just ran. It's not. I'm just being a smart ass.
Oh,
So
Like the
rude.
machine. Listen, if I put something inside of something inside of someone and they called me an asshole, something's not going right that day. Just saying. I'm just saying.
So we then go to a drawbridge where there's these two guys are playing cards, and the kind of all the controls start going off by themselves. The drawbridge starts to go up. You see it's absolute carnage. You have people flying off motorcycles through the windshield of other cars. You have the AC/DC van doing like skids down the side. So you have the one truck that falls off, And then you have the guy who does like, he looks like he's bobsledding as he like goes off of the bridge into the water. It's
what about
wild.
the woman in the Vega? I think it was a Vega 2-door. She like hits the front and just right out the window. Just,
right
like
the window.
instant, like holy fuck, lady.
There's some really awesome stunts in this sequence. That woman in particular was pretty terrifying, and I backed it up a couple times. It's like, I think that's a real stunt person, because they're reacting like before they come through the glass with their arm up, like they're gonna punch through the window with it. It's like that was a real person, and the dude who comes through the back window of the truck is a real person. Both of those shots are incredible in this sequence.
Weird fact that, to be honest, I hate even mentioning, because the person who this person was married to is not somebody I'm a fan of. But the woman in the car who gets the watermelon smashed through her windshield, her name is Marla Maples. She was formerly Marla Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
She was married to him until 1999.
She must have got too old, so he traded in for a newer model.
That's what happened. It's funny too, because on this bridge there's a mix of people who seem to be in full control of their vehicles, but the bridge is the problem. And then there's the woman who goes through the windshield, who either has no control of her car or just wasn't paying attention and was driving 80 miles an hour into just a bunch of slammed parked cars.
The funniest thing is, like, the two guys go to the outside of the drawbridge and they're just standing there going, I don't know what's happening. Maybe go inside and try to see if you can stop this.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no. I
love
love
that awesome like dialogue. It's clearly from a Stephen King movie. You can just tell how the characters act.
Oh yeah, because you got the one who's not.
He's like, "Oh come on, you dumb shit!" Like he's like,
he's like kicking him. A lot of this was done with miniatures, which was really cool. I like the mix between the miniatures and also a lot of the stunt work, because like you said, that was a real person just swan diving through a windshield. That was wild. We then meet the Goblin Truck, the infamous Goblin Truck. It is driving down a highway which also has 0 cars on the road. There is no way in hell there is just a highway with no cars. I understand what's happening in the world, but also there's this weird rule that doesn't really get mentioned, the fact that only trucks and like larger vehicles are affected, because like there are cars in this movie that aren't affected at all. So
is that a part of the short story?
So I've never read the short story, but I have read some of like what goes on in it, and in the book or in the short story they mention the fact that the cars aren't affected.
Oh, interesting.
But also, where are they all? Why is this highway just empty?
Well, you also see people who die in vehicles, and it looks like they were killed in the vehicle,
in the cars. Yeah, in their cars.
Rolled up in the window or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's weird to draw a distinction between cars and trucks being taken over by this radiation, but like electric knives or like a hairdryer or something can kill a person. Yeah.
But whatever.
It's like the third act of the first Transformers movie where just everything is turning into a killer robot.
They literally took a Maximum Overdrive scene and put it in a Transformers movie, because there is a soda machine transformer that just shoots out Mountain Dews out of its mouth or whatever. Or
wasn't there one that was like an Xbox or something killing people? Like they were like putting product placement consoles in there.
Oh yeah, the end of the first Transformers is just like, what the hell? So it pulls off into the truck stop that we will be hanging out at the entire movie, the Dixie Boy, and it is being driven by Frankie Faison, Barney himself from Silence of the Lambs. And I love his outfit. He's like dressed like a cowboy. Like what? Nice. Looking good, man. And we also meet possibly the worst character in this movie, and that is Pat Hingle's character, Bubba. I love how he calls everyone Bubba, but his name is Bubba. I'm like, why is that? What are you doing? The thing is when you probably have seen this for the first time, he's just that's kind of a common, like I've called that's like a nickname I call my kids. It's like they're Bubba.
Yeah.
But he calls everyone Bubba, but his name is Bubba. It's Bubba Hendershot. because his Cadillac that you see later on, the license plate says Bubba on it. Why do you do that?
Yeah,
he definitely seems like a vanity plate guy.
Oh, but
yeah.
This guy owns a truck stop, and he acts like he is a mob boss.
Yeah.
For most of North Carolina, like he owns everyone in North Carolina. He's like, he's always got the cigar. He's calling Billy in because he wants Billy to work more hours, but only for less pay. He's like, I want you to work for 9 hours, but you're only going to get paid for 8. And I love it. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I went, yeah, Billy. Yeah. And he's like, well, I own you or you're going to go back to prison. You're my bitch now. And I was like, I don't think that's how that works. Like just because he's in your ward after getting out of prison does not mean that he could just work for free. Like that's how that works.
And if he could, why wouldn't you just say you're going to work 9 hours and you'll get paid for 1 or 0 of them? Like,
well, we can't go too far. Then they'll really question things.
Yeah.
This character was written. It's so funny that Pat Hingle went from a character like this who was just so despicable and just awful the entire time, and then he would play Commissioner Gordon in 4 Batman movies, and he is the goofiest character in all 4 of those movies. Even in '89 and Returns, where they were a little bit more serious, Pat Hingle's Commissioner Gordon is a goober. He's just a goofball. And Batman and Robin, he's just too far gone. We couldn't wrangle him back. So we then go to the arcade and we meet Gus Fring, aka Giancarlo Esposito. He's robbing the arcade because all of everything is just flying out of the machines, and he's just shoving it into his coat.
Cigs and money and you name it. I
just love when he just yells at one of the machines. He's like, "Yo, mama."
Yeah, that was weird. It didn't relate to what was happening at all.
I mean, listen, as someone who does yell at inanimate objects, I know what I know that feeling where you're just like something happens, you're like, you know what, fuck you.
But it didn't seem like anything had offended him. They don't work right. Yeah, that's true.
The lights were just flashing a lot, just like, hey, yo, mama. So this is when one of the guys who works at the station, he's filling up the truck, and the hose pops out and sprays him in the face with diesel.
Dude, listen. Why the fuck is this shit just like oil?
It's
like
so
last
thick.
I checked, diesel doesn't look like this. Like it's like tar. It's like now, admittedly, I've never had diesel get in my eyes, but I have had gasoline, and it fucking hurts. So I can sympathize with this man. You gotta rinse that shit out, quick, like.
Were you looking right down the barrel of it, just jamming your finger in the pump? Like
oh, I love that.
That is not smart.
He's like blowing. He's like,
he's like, don't worry, I've got experience. Really wets his lips.
I know how to fix this one.
Thankfully, it was a premature, a little preemie. It
he just looks at it. He just looks at it. He's like, now you owe me money.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
You have to pay by the gallon, though.
Yes.
Hey, listen. Gotta do what you gotta do, brother.
I love that Billy gets called into Bubba's office there, and he's like, I got eggs on. He's like, I don't care. You're coming in here anyways. And so he has the waitress or whoever that woman was who worked there. She's mending the grill, and when he comes back, there's just shells everywhere. It is a disaster. What is happening here?
I don't know.
She's like, Billy, hurry up.
That woman's my favorite character in this whole movie.
She has the best anger situation I've ever seen in a movie. I love it. I can't wait to reenact it.
Yeah, she lost it.
She goes berserk. But she gets attacked by a rogue battery powered knife, or what are these called? These like the turkey carvers?
It's like a carving knife.
I'm assuming
carving
it's a
knife,
carving knife.
But again, this is the only thing other than the trucks that like. So why is this the only thing that like magically turns on and starts attacking people? I mean, yeah, everything in the arcade starts going off. But.
Yeah, the ATM machine goes crazy. The lawnmower goes crazy. Everything goes crazy. Yeah, I don't know why cars are the one exemption.
Or just the one car that's in this movie that we see a lot of.
Yeah.
that there's no effect.
How complicated does a
big
machine
enough.
have to be taken over? Like, what are the rules? Like, is a lever a machine? Like, how simple are we willing to go?
Well, why
Maybe
is
they can only drive 6 shifts.
maybe that's fine. Like they're civilized, whatever, space dust, anyhow, or aliens. But why is it we have this? Like you said, there's no clear definition. I assumed it was electric or some internal combustion powered stuff. That's what
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what it goes, whatever. But then the sprinklers turn on for no reason.
Yeah.
Why are the sprinklers turn on?
Because it
They're
looked
not
cool while he was riding his bike.
Yeah, it does, but it doesn't work. Like it does. It's not powered by electricity, nor is it powered by internal combustion.
I just wanted the 2001 Space Odyssey like music from the beginning, just to, like every time we're gonna go, I'll be like, bah, bah,
Yes.
And then he gets hit by an ice cream truck. Like, okay, I get it.
Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal.
Yes.
That game wouldn't come out for another decade.
Or the ice cream truck from Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh yes.
Oh,
that's more relevant.
yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, that movie wouldn't come out for another 2 years, but yeah, that's a closer reference. So Gus Fring dies. He touches a arcade cabinet and gets electrocuted and shot across the room.
Yeah.
He's mesmerized by it.
Yes.
Oh.
Hypnotized.
Yep, that too.
We're not at a baseball game, and the game's over. Good job, team. Let's go get some sodas. Love this so much. Guy goes down to get his sodas. The first one hits him right in the nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets hit in the chest, and then he just gets pelted in the head. And I'm so mad that they didn't leave the original effect worked, which was it was supposed to have this massive welt on his head.
Well, you can see it in one shot.
Oh, did you? It must have been really quick because I think it was supposed
when
to sit
the
on
kid
it
goes
a
to
little
check
longer.
on him and he finds him on the ground, his whole head has a crater from the can in the.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
so
forehead.
you see like the flat, like the red crater, but before it was like a balloon, so it was looking like it was swelling up, and there was supposed to be blood like squirting out of it, and then
God,
the
that's
after effect was what we actually see in the movie.
Yeah,
which is just like that perfect imprint of a soda.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
So
kudos to this kid. At least he tries to go and check us on his fucking coach. After
I
these other
know
kids
he's
just
the
get
one going
murdered.
towards the danger. That's crazy.
Also, how
Yeah,
fast
he's
are these
like,
cans going?
He's
We're
the
like,
catcher, though.
this kid gets hit. There is one kid that gets hit in the ass, and he does the right reaction where he's like, but then he just falls over like he died.
The pain
He's
was
dead.
the pain was too much.
That was
He
his
couldn't
Listen,
take it.
spot.
no one got a worse death than the kid who got ran over by the steamroller.
Yeah.
Fuck that kid. And
That
was
was
the
a great
coolest
effect,
looking
too.
kill. Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
So good.
the
So
head
cool.
just disappearing under the flattening iron is insane.
He knew he was coming. He didn't even try.
yeah.
The effects supervisor for the movie in the special features was talking about how they were trying to figure out a good way of doing that scene because Stephen King really didn't want a lot of blood in this movie, but he wanted some that made sense, like the one with the coach's head, and then there's one later where a guy gets hit by a truck and just big blood splatter on the front.
Right? Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they were trying to figure out the best way to run this kid over, and so there was 3 dummies, and one of them he said was the best, but it was just a little too much. Where there was like stuff inside the head, and when it ran over the dummy and it got to the head just blasted off, and it looked like custard just came out of its head. Like it
Oh
looked
my
like
God.
brain matter got sprayed everywhere. And you just remembered looking at Stephen King like, that was cool. And he's like, yeah, but we can't use it. It's too much.
Fuck, dude.
So for the last
Oh.
take, he went and got his least favorite son, and he was like, "Just lay down right here."
You don't write. You're not going to write any books. Get under there.
You'll be fine right
Yeah,
here.
You ain't gonna write a book about getting lost in fucking grass. Thanks, Joe Hill.
He's
Hey,
got
Joe
some
Hill.
fun stuff.
I don't.
He
I
does,
just. I
he
don't
does.
know. I'm just.
I love Nosferatu. He also expressed interest in remaking this movie. He wanted in
Really?
2020 he came out and stated he would
Fuck yeah.
remake this movie in a heartbeat. If
That'd
he
be
had
cool.
The opportunity. So.
Direct it on cocaine.
No, he said, well, yeah. Dad, do you still have your stash? He just
Right
opens.
here.
He just opens up a
Vintage
secret door in his house. He's like, "Maximum Overdrive cocaine." You're like, Yes.
This is
It looks
from
like the hedge maze
ACDC.
from The Shining, but it's all cocaine instead of snow.
Yes. Yes.
It's like, I thought you hated The Shining. Shut up, it's North This.
It made me a lot of money. Actually, did it? I don't think it did.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. So.
The book probably did,
Who cares?
not the movie. We then meet the pervert Bible salesman. I love that this guy is a Bible salesman and is the biggest pervert. I was like, kind of makes sense to me. He calls her sugar pie all the time and is like touching her. And I love it.
Right. And so much of his dialogue is cribbed directly from the character from Paper Moon that he's clearly like a parody of. That's the grifter Bible salesman character, like the lead character of the movie.
Oh, all right. I've never seen that movie, so I never.
It's a great one. It's one of my favorites. My oldest daughter is named after the main character in the movie because it's a longtime favorite.
You're someone who names their kids after movie characters?
Yeah.
What?
My son is named after Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China. So
listen, my son is named after Chief Brody from Jaws, and my daughter's name is a take of Quint, so it's fine. I get it.
We have manga and anime names here. And,
that's good.
And except for one, our youngest is named. Well, sorry. Video games. Our youngest is named after Dracula.
Well, from the novel.
Well, from the novel.
My youngest son's middle name is named after Ian Malcolm, so it's either Jaws or Jurassic Park. So I get it.
She's Sarah Harker.
Oh, okay.
So.
And our oldest is named after Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then our youngest son is named after his name is Ridley Aaron. And he's named after the space dragon from the Metroid franchise. And then Samus Aran, or Iran, the main character from the Metroid franchise. So there we go. Hey,
you wouldn't let me name him Ridley Scott. So
no.
That's what
Ridley Scott's
that's
cool
what that character was named after, anyways.
Yeah, but he ain't no fucking space dragon. So sorry, Ridley Scott.
Our Ridley isn't a space dragon.
Well, by golly, he's trying. Okay.
He is watching more movies with us, so I'm pretty excited about that.
That's always a struggle.
I try so hard to get my kids to watch more movies with me, but it's mostly my son, my oldest, walking through going, "What are you watching?" And I go, "It's great. It's about killer trucks, and you should watch it." And he's like, "No, I'm good." And he just walks away.
I told Victor earlier.
I got my wife. She enjoys watching movies with me and laughs at them all.
And as soon as I told him what it was, he's like, "Oh god," and walks off.
Dude, listen,
you're 15. Stop
I would let our middle son watch it, but I forgot this movie not only has titties, it has fucking shots of landing strips. So like, I was not expecting that at all in this movie.
What?
In the
what?
And they're like
on
his
the
little
wall.
Shag pad.
Oh, okay. So it was a Gone in 60 Seconds moment. Okay.
Yeah, like in Gone 60 Seconds, it seems like there's a lot of tatter, but like this is just like this lady's like fucking legs open and everything. She's got the access tunnel.
Patrick, is Gone in 60 Seconds from 1974 going to be on Patreon poll?
It's on the Patreon poll that posted this morning. It's one of our
Vote
options
for it.
for July of 74.
Vote for it. It's a fucking masterpiece.
Go vote for Gone in 60 Seconds.
A little biased.
There's right now there's already a lot of votes for Death Wish, which came out the same month, and my choice would have been Flesh Gordon. So we'll see how well that one does.
Flesh Gordon.
Fuck yes,
that's
dude.
the porn version of the same story of Flash Gordon, which we've already covered.
Nice. That's tough, dude. I have to go with Gone 60 Seconds, man, because it's loaded.
It's pretty great.
I have to make you that.
So good. It's so good. So yeah, when Bible salesman man is being really grab-assy, and I love her move where she takes his hand off. He's like, "You put your hand on me again, you're gonna be wiping your ass with a hook." And he's like, "Oh, I've never heard such talk from a woman. I've never." It's like acting like he's doing nothing wrong.
Right.
And this is when we finally see the Goblin Truck start to kind of come alive. Like you start to see things like move on their own, and then Emilio goes outside to investigate, and nothing happens. I do like the little goblin jack-in-the-box that he finds inside the truck when he's investigating it. It's great. Yeah. We meet our newlyweds, Connie and Curtis. Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna forget that name. It's only said 1,000 times. Curtis, are you dead?
Oh my
Oh, they're so great. I listen, I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but they looked like newlyweds, or clearly they were newlyweds, but they also looked like they could be like cousins. They looked related.
They
Well, it
did
is
look
North
related.
Carolina.
Yeah.
It's close.
I was
God.
like,
They're at least second cousins.
Of course, we mentioned that Connie is played by Lisa Simpson herself, Yardley Smith,
Yes.
or I think it's pronounced
my note.
Yardley Smith.
My note at that moment was, well, if it isn't little Lisa Simpson, Springfield's answer to a question that nobody asked.
Nobody asked. Yes, Hurricane Nettie. Fucking love it. And I don't know you, but I bet you're a jerk. Hey, man, what's going on? I just got here a few minutes ago.
Why? Why is it a thing? Sorry, this isn't related to what you guys just mentioned, but I'm just reading my next note going, why is this a thing? Because a movie that you just covered not that long ago, Personal Best, which is one of the worst movies I've seen.
Right, yeah.
That movie is awful. There's a scene in that movie where the guy, the couple, the guy needs to take a piss and she wants to hold it and watch him pee.
Yeah.
And literally that is a conversation that goes on in here where he literally, Curtis is like, she's like, we gotta stop. I gotta go pee. And he's like, can I watch? And I went, why? Why is that a thing? Stop.
He jokes around all the time when I say I need to pee. He's like, can I watch? And I'm like, no.
Let me come in and help you. No. I like run after her. She's going to the bathroom.
You're going to need assistance in there.
Hey, some of the guys are at work. They're like, dude, I'm going to go to the bathroom. He's like, you need help? I was like, yeah, come with me. I need somebody to hold my hand. It really helps out. You can like hold hands under the stall, you can just power through that.
Yeah, you just need that support.
Wait,
listen, my dad had carpal tunnel surgery on both hands, and my mom had to help him do everything. And I'm like, absolutely not. If you ever had any problem with that, you're on your own.
Hold on,
I will get you one of those reacher things.
I'm trying to think. Hold on. It was the Treehouse of Horrors, where Kane and Kodos were as the presidential candidates. It was Bob Dole and he's like, sorry, you guys are holding hands. Well, how else do you expect us to transfer valuable protein strands? Like this is, I don't know why I thought of that. Anyway, girl.
Oh, back when Treehouse Horror was good.
Nobody's gonna get that.
They stop off at a post office. I don't know, or is this like another like a garage? I'm not sure what this place is. But my favorite thing is when the truck that attacks them activates. It just sounds like a NASCAR pit crew is changing some tires. I was like, wee, 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 wee. You're like,
yeah,
what is going on?
I thought it was that car trying to start, and I'm like, I don't think it can go anywhere.
Is this where we get that first the sound bit, the whip, 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 whip?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I do like the shot of the truck because it's like you said, there's like these vehicles, and like it comes from like off screen behind some vehicles. You hear the noise, and it comes from, and you're like, oh, it's just this truck, and it turns, and you can see like the front half's like bloodied, and the headlights knocked out. It's a cool shot.
And the ice cream truck where it has all the kid handprints on the front of it.
Oh my god, it's so
they're all like 4 feet off the ground.
Oh no,
we wanted some ice cream. You just see what it would be a little bit too much, but you just got one like dead body just like dragging with it, trying to still get some ice cream. It was in the back.
I feel like that was a metaphor that they should have leaned on harder with the Ice Cream Man movie. That it was like because they do hint a little bit at like the whole the Pied Piper leading the children away because he was wronged by the people of like a village, and it's like that's such a killer Ice Cream Man story because he's playing music and the kids follow him around, but they don't really go that in depth with it. I think that movie's overdue for a remake.
Yes, there was actually someone made a short. It was like an animated short that I saw on YouTube probably like 4 or 5 years ago, where it was like a horror, like really dark, like Ice Cream Man story of like kidnapping children or like doing that where you're like leading them back to this place, and then they're kidnapping them and locking them in the basement, and then the kids are trying to escape from the basement. It's pretty good. I'll have to look it up and I'll send it to you guys, but it was like, I want a full length movie of this.
When I did my senior project in college, when they did the presentation for it, Clint Howard came to host the presentation of all the senior projects. And I talked to him for like an hour afterwards about my ideas for Ice Cream Man 2. And he was like all totally on board with it in the conversation and gave me his contact info and then just never replied to anything I said.
Oh, no. He got ghosted.
Yeah.
Damn.
He was like, I'm busy with my brother. I'm busy living off my brother, I should say. Listen, I love Clint Howard, but I love it though. The truck goes at Curtis. He dodges it. So originally, I don't know if the shot that's used in the movie is what the actor who played Curtis mentions in the behind the scenes, but he did the stunt himself. The problem was it almost killed him because there was like of all the trucks, the way that they would have the person driving it, they were like underneath the cab, and they only had like a small window that they could look out to see where they're going, and they would drive the truck that way. So when you look in the windshield, you clearly no one's driving. Yeah. But I guess there was like, because it's rigged differently than a normal vehicle, I guess the shaft broke that like helped control the truck. So the truck
swung to the left and it hit that column.
Yeah. Well, so it was supposed to, so where it turned was correct, but it was pretty much on accident. Like it was kind of unpredictable. Like if it had gone if it had gone to the right, it would have killed the actor.
Yeah, it looked terrifyingly close. And when they cut to the reverse angle and that bar is leaning on him, and I was like, it looked like that hit him in the previous shot. Like, I'm not surprised that that's what killed this guy. And then he pushes it right off and gets up.
He literally mentions, he was like, my stunt person flew in the next day for future stunts that I would do. And he literally came up to me and he was like, you're never doing that again.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let me do that. And I mean, listen, Connie's yelling of, Curtis, are you dead? The best. She does get very annoying though in this movie.
I was surprised they lasted as long as they do.
I mean, she's only yelled his name like 50 times at this point.
So after Emilio, or Billy is his character's name, he investigates the truck. That's when Brett sneaks up on him. And then they have this just really awkward conversation in the park. She's like, you're cute. And he's just like, you think so? And I was like, what is happening here?
Yeah. And then she immediately retracts it. She's like, not that cute.
Yeah.
Like she's bye. Like, why the fuck did you even say anything?
Yeah. She wasn't close enough yet to determine, oh, no, never mind. Sorry.
Oh, you turned your head. I'm sorry. This bet's off.
I thought you were someone else in the Sheen family.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty much what Dino De Laurentiis wanted. He literally was like, I want Michael, or is it
Charlie?
Sheen, right? Or no, not Charlie. What's the dad's name?
Martin?
Michael Sheen's not related to them. Martin Sheen. God damn it. Yeah, he was just like, I want Martin Sheen's son. Like, it wasn't even, I want Emilio Estevez.
And he didn't specify, so they got Emilio. They're like, yeah, spend the money we saved on Coke. This is perfect.
Bonus.
He'll bring all of it. So the kid rides home, and we get the wonderful welcome with the sprinklers. I love it. It's great little visual bonus there. You get him hiding from the ice cream truck as it's coming down. It's creepy. It's playing the music. There's no drivers. Like Patrick said, you got the bloody hands on the side. It's great imagery. You see all the dead bodies inside the cars, which again, okay, the continuity is kind of weird with this one, but that you hear on the radio, the guy at the radio talks about a mechanical revolt. So it's kind of, but no really specifications of like what is causing this to happen. They're just like, it's happening everywhere. They're talking about it's like happening in other countries. Like machines are just alive.
But the fact that the guy isn't like strangled by a microphone cord during the broadcast, I feel like is a missed opportunity.
I know.
How is he fine? He's literally in a room full of machines telling us that machines have gone mad.
I'm fine. But
they keep some of us alive to speak.
So this is another crazy behind the scenes fact was the lawnmower. So the bloody lawnmower that we see that chases, I think this is Zeke. I think is the kid's name, or Deke. I think it's Deke.
Yeah.
Because I get confused because his name is Deke, and there's a truck that shows up to the truck stop later, and it says Zeke's Garbage Company or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this bloody lawnmower caused a major accident that would permanently scar the cinematographer. So StephenKing refused to take the blades off the lawnmower. He wanted it to be genuine. He pretty much told him, like, I want to see the blades. The cinematographer was like, you can't see the blades in the shot. And King was like, I still want the blades on. When they did one of the shots, it hit a piece of wood, and a piece of the wood shot into his eye, into the cinematographer's eye. He got rushed to the hospital. You know, pretty much they had to take his eye because it was that badly damaged.
Did you die?
So, but he came back and finished the movie.
Damn.
That's crazy.
And then would later sue StephenKing,
for sure,
De Laurentiis, and everybody for like $18 million. I guess I got like settled out of court, but it was pretty much one of those things where he pretty much stated is like, it ruined my career because who's going to hire a cinematographer with no depth perception? Like,
right, yeah.
I have with one eye. And he was like a very famous Italian cinematographer. So, yeah, wild stuff. But I do love the imagery of the bloody lawnmower, like it's already killed a bunch of people. There was also a cut shot of a guy with a chainsaw, like halfway through his neck on the ground.
Oh
you can see him in one of the shots, but it's like in the distance. They were actually supposed to show it closer, but they decided it was just a little too much. So we are back with the Bible salesman. He's trying to sell Bibles to a bunch of people, or I think it was the waitress and another guy in the restaurant. There is a bunch of characters in this place that you don't know their names. And later on, when you hear names, you go, who? Who is this person? Why do I care? Like, I don't, what are we talking about here? Who's Brad? You go like, what are we talking about? But
there was a couple of times people showed up. I'm like, who are you? Where did you come from?
The guy who got the diesel to the face, you find out, is Deke's dad. And he wants to go out and find his kid. And everybody's like, hey, you can't do that. Like, you can barely see. It's not good to do it. But he goes out there anyways. He gets smoked by one of the trucks. Like, this is where you get the blood splatter on the front. It was actually really good dummy work. Because usually you can really tell that it's a dummy. This one was like shot so fast. It was like, holy shit. You could have passed that as the actual person just getting absolutely destroyed by that truck.
I think this is where I started to get annoyed that people aren't reacting instantly anytime they hear an engine rev. Like, by now, we've figured out what's going on, and we're letting a half-blind guy wander out in front of this massive truck. Of course it's going to hit him. Why did you let him go? Like, if you've already established that he can't count your fingers, he shouldn't be driving anyway. They should have, if you were going to send someone to get Deke, send one of the other guys to get him. It doesn't make any sense.
I feel like they did rinse his eyes out. No, he did not get an eye flush. He just thought, like, I could deal with it.
Right.
Eyes just melting. Like, don't mind that. Just happens to be corrosive, but sure.
God. And again, it shows how much Bubba Hendershot's a piece of shit. They cover up his body and then they bring it back in. He's just like, watch where you're going. Put it in the basement. Don't get any blood anywhere.
Dripping on my floor.
Yeah, you suck.
I wanted to punch him long before this, though.
Yeah, he's still convinced that it's not even like a real emergency for some reason. It's
happening.
Like everything on the radio is telling you everybody's dead, and you're like pretending we care if you report us to the government for like not showing up to work today. Like the society has crumbled, dude. Nobody gives a shit anymore.
He's just there with this endless supply of cigars. Somehow, and rocket launchers. You find out later. Where'd you get those, bud?
Don't worry about it.
I love that the Bible salesman's in the middle of his sale and his car gets hit by one of the trucks and he just flips out. You no good son of a bitch. He's like, get out of my way, bitch. And I was like, oh, different tune, I see. He goes outside. Yep. It doesn't end well for him. He literally gets tossed. And I went, bye. No one will miss you.
That's a great stunt, too. Him getting thrown over into the ravine. It looks like a real hard hit, actually.
Yeah.
So this is when Brett is like, she's like, I gotta change. And Emilio's just like, why? Because that man touched me and now he's dead. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay.
Sure. No, it was called Dino De Laurentiis didn't like the fact she was wearing jeans and wanted her in a more revealing outfit.
Is that really
That's
why?
what I said.
Oh
when she changed, I'm like, oh, she needs to show more skin.
Yeah, she's got to wear a
That would have been my second guess after just, oh, we shot a bunch of scenes and she's wearing the wrong clothes. Like, let's just shoot a scene where she says I have to change for some reason.
Yeah, it was like, okay.
She didn't like the fact he touched her.
I mean, because it just didn't make sense. I mean, it's like, yeah, the guy was a pervert and he was disgusting, but like you had to change. Like you were wearing jeans. Like I feel like it probably would have made more sense if she was wearing the skirt to begin with. It was touching her skin or something, and
yeah,
it's disgusting either way. But okay, sure.
That's true. That whole arc would make much more sense the other direction than it does. She's like, you know what? That guy grossed me out. I'm going to put on some more revealing clothes for the apocalypse. Yeah. It's like, what? Okay.
So yeah, this is when they kind of they come to the surreal fact that the trucks are driving on their own. They're alive. No shit. 2 people are dead. Like, we're just coming to that realization.
Yeah. This is a big factory recall that we're going to be dealing with.
It's just the gremlins. So Curtis, I love when they're driving on the highway and they're getting chased by the truck, or the truck like pulls out behind them and he's just like, oh, I just loaded my pants.
Yes.
It's such a great line. Oh man.
In the Joe Hill sequel, I feel like you definitely need like an Elon character trying to convince people that this is not his full drive mode, like at fault. It's like, no, this is not my doing.
Yeah, you just have all the vehicles need to be like just mocks of the Tesla truck, Cybertruck, and all
all the cars downloaded in alien firmware.
No,
it's the Child's Play remake. It's the Child's Play remake.
Yes. So no, yeah, what's going to happen though? But it's going to be the other way though, because no offense, it's Hollywood, but it's all going to be all of the internal combustion engines are evil.
Right.
And it's the electric cars that are fine. They're the good
Save
guys.
the day.
They're the good guys. And see, they're going to like, you don't need that shit no more. Like, that's how it's going to work.
And what was it in War of the Worlds? It was like all the cars with catalytic converters were okay or they weren't okay. I can't remember, but there was like some way to determine whether the car would have survived the EMP pulses that killed the whole planet.
Well, it's essentially anything with electronic ignition, which like I know in that one because he switches like the ignition solenoid on that little like the Dodge Caravan or something, which wouldn't have worked because it had a computer at the time.
Yeah, but it's also what did you trade it with that wasn't already affected by what just happened?
I know, like, dude, it's whatever. It's sure.
So yeah, they're driving and they get getting chased by this truck. And to be honest, I feel like they could have outran this truck so easily.
Oh yeah,
they're just making it too. It's got to be intense. It's right on him. It's hitting him. It's getting him off the road. And then he kind of like does some crazy moves to the point where the truck just drives off and immediately blows up. It doesn't even hit the ground before it blows up. It just blows up in midair. I'm like, I don't think that's how that works.
Excuse me, why? Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking bull. It's like old movies. I don't know why they needed to detonate before they hit the ground. I was always confused by that.
The explosion's bigger if it's not, masked by the ground. You just have the whole thing in the air.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I agree with you. That even though it's just no offense, would have been a fairly nutless Malibu, but I think it would have outrun that truck. That truck would have been so low geared. It probably would have topped out like 60 miles an hour. There's no way. 65, maybe.
If you were in that situation, though, would you have screamed at your significant other to shut the fuck up if you were driving with someone like Connie in this situation? I know I should have let you drive. Like, she's just going on and on and on and on. And I love after the truck blows up and they stop for a second. She's like, Curtis, what's going on? He's like, I don't know. Like general reaction, like, Jesus, shut up. Oh man. So they finally get to the truck stop, and then the trucks are all circling the Dixie Boy, and they're like, and Curtis has got an idea. He's got to clear this gap. So he's like, oh, there's a big gap there. We're gonna go as soon as she's like, immediately she's like, yeah, we just got to get there. And then as soon as he comes with the idea, she's like, no, you're not. He's like, I got this, babe. And he goes, and right as he gets through, he gets like hit in the tail by a truck, and it flips the car. I love where he gets out, and she's like, Curtis, I'm stuck here on this fucking seatbelt. Get me out of here. Yeah. And it's literally her wrist. What are you doing? You're not even trying to get yourself loose. You're just sitting there like, help me, Curtis.
No, because she tells him before then about she shouldn't have let him drive again. And I'm like, ma'am, you didn't drive very well before then.
What are we talking about here?
On the Vintage Video Podcast, we'll be reviewing every single wide release of the 1980s in chronological order. Over 250 episodes to enjoy and thousands more to come. John enters the store now to order another can of ether. I picture him outside like Homer with the gasohol.
One for you, one for me.
I also like to think about that the kids renew their vow not to talk about the murder
by murdering someone.
They're taking a blood oath with someone else's blood.
This stuff is 7 times more powerful than uranium. And they open up the vault that it's contained in, not wearing any kind of protective gear.
Yeah. And it's wooden crates.
Wooden crates. It's like the guys in Chernobyl picking up the graphite rocks and going, nah, because there's rocks.
Hugging the elephant foot. Just like, oh, this thing's smooth.
It's so warm.
He turns to dial the number from the classified ad without even thinking about the numbers. We know this because we can hear his thoughts, and he's talking about how AJ was right that ninjas are misdirecting him.
They're misdirecting.
I really wish that he'd turn to the phone and been like, 665. No, that's 2 5s. Vintage Video. We're rewatching the 80s, so you don't have to.
So they finally get there. We see Bubba with his rocket launcher for the first time. He blows one of the...
That's not how that works.
No.
They would have burned themselves long before that would have gone off.
Okay, I'm not an expert, but normally these disposable launchers, they look like a law. This is a light anti-tank weapon. And they're disposable. You usually would mount them on your shoulder. I could be wrong. If this is a variant of that product or item, somebody will tell me. But you mount it from the shoulder and fire. You got to be worried about the back blast because it could fucking kill people. And you fire it and you discard it. It is not something that reloads.
Wait, so you're telling me that Joey would have been dead because he was behind him every time he shot that thing?
Yeah, he would have been dead. 100%.
Wow.
I've seen videos. I've seen like videos of people using different things, like even just RPGs and stuff, where people would walk behind them and they get fucking smoked. Like it's you don't fuck around with that shit.
That doesn't seem safe.
Then Emilio Estevez's character would have been burnt later when he used it.
Because everybody's like, baby, let's just hold it like or like under the arm. But
like, they're holding it up against their chest, like it's fine, guys.
He's got the back of it in his mouth. It's like you don't have to do that. That's weird.
Don't worry, I've done this 100 times. Have you?
I was in the military. I know what I'm doing.
I'm protecting you guys with my mouth.
Don't worry, guys. I can take it.
It's one of those videos you watch at work, like safety 101. Don't put a rocket launcher in your mouth.
Don't do this.
It's not safe.
Plus, you might have it backwards.
Oh, that's fair. We didn't think about that. We didn't calculate for it being backwards. Not a 1.
Perfectly fine.
There's actually a scene with the rocket launcher later and the waitress that doesn't make any fucking sense. And she would have also smoked herself after she already got smoked, and after she already smoked someone.
So can we just talk about how the fact that Brett and Billy's relationship is kind of dumb and does not need to be in this movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because every
sure
conversation
that was a
they
studio
have,
insert. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You got to have some sort of love story. But every time they have a conversation, I start to doze off a little bit, like it's nap time, because I just don't care about anything they're talking about. You know, and I mean, I don't know where she was in her career here, but Laura Harrington, when she's trying to be sad and cry, it was awful. Like she's like, she like throws her hair. She's like, I was like, what was that? What was that reaction? You were just like this super badass girl. Then you just like turn and there's like, Oh my
She's
God.
got her girly side. She has to, you know.
Oh, I mean, I know people.
She changed out of the jeans. That's just what happens.
She got in that skirt. She's like, I'm more sensitive. Like, I don't think that's how that works.
This is my crying outfit.
And
yes,
yeah, they have this weird hugging thing too. I was like, what is going on? But also, she says the name of the movie, and I went, "Hey!"
yes,
she did it.
I pointed that out too.
Everybody takes a drink.
That's the only drink you get. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Take a shot every time she yells Curtis.
You die. Please don't. Please don't.
Yeah,
You'll
you will
die.
Yeah, no, don't do that. We're not responsible for your drinking game ideas, nor the ones that we give you. Drink responsibly.
So Deke he's riding his bike on the highway. You see like a plane fly by a couple times. You'll see it later too. The funny thing is this plane comes back and you're like,
yep.
That was great.
Wow.
Best ending to a plane.
That's the payoff of that.
But when we get to that scene, I have a question. Because it seems
just
really dark. Just one singular. So he finally makes it to the rest stop, but he can't get to the rest stop. He has to like hide in that culvert that the Bible salesman got thrown into.
Yeah.
And then we have Brett and Billy having sex. And you're like, okay, I guess this needed to happen. I mean, it wasn't like you see anything. It was kind of the after. But the lines that they give her are just like, what are we doing? She's like, you make love like a hero. And I went, what?
Yeah, all her dialogue here is real weird.
Yeah, she sounds like she read that off like a condom label. Make love like a hero.
This is definitely something that someone else was asked to write last minute because Stephen King just put a huge orgy scene right here. They were like, no, Stephen can't do this in movies. I told you, we have to change it.
Sir, we cannot make this an R-rated movie with this in it. It would be worse.
It's like, no, but they're showing their love for each other. So no, Steve, stop.
They're not minors this time, Steve. Stop.
Steve, just direct the movie about the killer trucks. Just do that, okay?
Well, I've got a scene.
All right, let me go do a couple more.
I was gonna say somebody
first.
Somebody mispronounced trucks, and he thought they said fucks, and he was just like, "Oh, okay, I got this."
Oh man, I'm good at that.
Little baby trucks, but they're like power wheels. Power wheels.
Perfect. I want to see that. Like the one kid's power wheel is going 90 down the middle of a residential street.
I'd buy it.
One of those four-wheelers that just takes them out at the knees. God damn.
Heck yeah.
Oh. The craziest fact, though, that I heard from the actor who played Deke, Holter Graham, he said that there were times he would like ask King how he was doing, like when he would be like on an early like laptop or whatever. He was actually writing it while he was directing this movie. Like part of the book was written during this, because it came out in '86. So, and this movie was filmed in '85. So it kind of makes sense depending on how long it took him to write the book. But pretty great. I had to look it up. I was like, you get that
and write a bock while you're directing a movie. Like that seems
cocaine. A lot of cocaine.
I could do anything.
Literally.
If we set ourselves on fire, we could go anywhere.
I haven't blinked for days.
Like somebody come by and mist his eyes for him.
I do like they put the green. They put the green glow in the sky from the comet.
Yeah.
I like how that's the first time you see it. I was like, hasn't this been there the whole time? Oh, wait. It's because it is nighttime now, so you actually see it. But I feel like you could have seen it during the day.
It's the Mountain Dew.
It's the Mountain
Dew Borealis.
That's what you see.
I mean, they could have put mist in the air the whole time.
What?
They could have put mist in the air for the whole time.
Yeah, probably.
Sierra mist.
Yeah, mist. I mean...
So their big...
I mean, it looked like Mountain Dew the whole time. So why not?
So their big plan is to go to this island that doesn't allow automobiles. And I went, of course it is. Of course.
It's a real place.
I mean, I believe it is. But I just find it's a really well thought out plan. So this is when we get...
Somebody has a well thought out plan in a movie?
No.
That doesn't make any sense. All right. This is when we get the best overreaction of any character in cinematic history, and that is when, what is her name? Wanda the waitress. She's like, I'm sick of this bullshit. We made them. And she just goes out there and she's just screaming, we made you. We made you.
We made you.
I'm like, ma'am, you make no sense. How did you make them?
She's just tired of dealing with customers here. She wanted this truck to run her over in the parking lot.
Listen, I was in retail for almost 20 years. I understand her not wanting to deal with customers anymore.
I wouldn't throw myself in front of possessed trucks.
No, I wouldn't, but I can understand her mental breakdown.
I might, though, because there's a lot more boring ways to die. I feel like, I've said for a long time that if a T-Rex is ever cloned to adulthood, I will break into the cage and get eaten, just so, that's how I ended.
Give it a hug.
The first person eaten by a T-Rex in history. That'd be amazing.
You want to be David Kep from The Lost World.
Exactly, yeah.
When he gets eaten in San Diego.
Dressed like, yeah. Or you could be just dressed like Gennaro. I mean,
there you go. Yeah.
Imagine that, getting eaten by a T-Rex while sitting on a toilet.
Is there anything better than that?
Can I actually be taking a shit, though? Because I feel like that would be even more poetic. I'm actually trying to do something on that toilet. And I'm not just hiding from a T-Rex. I'm just like, I know the T-Rex is out there, but I really got to shit.
That's more important.
Oh, sophisticated conversations we have here at Dissecting.
Just sophisticated conversation starts with someone taking a shit.
Yes.
Hey, that is always the way you end conversations. If I have learned anything in my family, our conversations always end up with people shitting, pooping,
Really? Where am I at for these conversations?
You're always off by yourself.
You're off shitting somewhere.
Yeah, I have my own corner. Leave me the fuck alone. It's my shit corner.
That is literally what we talk about.
This is how my people work.
Oh, man.
And that's the time it's time to leave. Like, okay.
There's a perimeter. Don't get too close. I will throw. I can wash my hands. Fine. I'm not afraid to go back to prison.
Wait, what? Oh, I am concerned.
That's where I learn my skills.
Oh, okay.
Before
my time. Okay.
I do want to point out one of the cool features that they put with the trucks is that, like, when something happens outside of the Dixie Boy, all the trucks are like communicating with each other. They're like honking,
right? Yeah,
which I really liked.
It's a nice touch.
So they also notice that the trucks are starting to slow down. You don't actually see it, but they talk about it. The fact that, like, they see that there's trucks pushing other trucks because either they're running out of gas. You find out that the salesman's still alive, or at least clinging to life, as he grabs onto Deke. And I guess StephenKing stepped in to do one of the shots. Like, he wanted to, like, show the actor, like, what he wanted to see from him. And so he was like, the actor was like, yeah, he just came down. He was wearing jeans and a white t-shirt. He sat in mud because he was literally like, that's where it was. It was like a muddy ditch. He's like, we just sat in the mud. He grabbed onto me and wouldn't let go. And I was just constantly kicking at him, just throwing dirt in his face. And then, he was like, okay, that's good. And he said he was just smiling ear to ear. He was just having a great time, just covered in just mud, just like nasty ass mud.
Yeah, the
it's
salesman,
all mud and white under his nose.
Yep.
That's it. Like,
Listen, I was prepared to see white under his nose at the first scene when he was at the ATM.
Yeah,
like he'd been eating a donut or something.
That's why he doesn't have facial hair. It'll just be like... Carry on. Sorry.
I mean, King always rocked a beard for the longest time.
Yeah,
it wasn't until he got older that he got rid of the facial hair, and now his son, Joe Hill, looks exactly like him from the 70s and 80s. It's pretty hilarious. So the kid gets saved by Billy and Curtis because they end up crawling through the sewer to, what was their plan? I'm trying to remember their plan because it wasn't to
they
go.
They thought they were saving the salesman guy, or that they.
Oh, that's right, because they could hear him.
Alive.
Yeah,
that's right.
They were taking the shower drain.
Yep. Yeah, I do love
it. There was this weird scene, like, could you imagine how many people pissed in here? Like, here's a rat.
Whoa! He's like, I'm sending you a friend. He's like, holy shit! Get out of here.
Yep.
I do like that when Billy slips and gets some shit splashed in his face. He's like, how did that taste? Just like,
yeah. Oh, God.
I like how the actor was like, it really wasn't sewer water. I was like, I really hope it wasn't. Like, that would be terrible
liability for sure.
Yeah. You just got Emilio Estevez fucking eating shit and piss. Like, no, that's not happening.
Hey, I've had toilet water splashed in my face.
I feel like that was an accident, though. This is making a movie.
Still doesn't make it any better.
No, no. So they decide to they pretty much, after going to see if the salesman's alive, he's dead. They get the kid. And they're like, well, there's a way we could escape. Okay, we'd all just leave out of that storm drain and get out of here. The big trucks. Oh, that's not what that freaking says. Oh, so this is when Deke is told that his dad is. I'm sorry, it is dark in here because I don't have my light on, so I'm trying to read my notes in my computer light. So yeah, it's a little sloppier than usual. I'm just like, what does that note say? Boy, no. So the kid gets told that his dad's dead. I love his reaction, right. And I guess it was like originally one of the shots was like the kid got did really well. He got himself to cry. He was like being embraced by Emilio Estevez, and then Emilio Estevez was like, "Dude, chill out. Like you got to do this multiple times, so you can't go this hard on the first take." And so the take that they used, he had to like shove his head into Emilio Estevez because he couldn't get himself to cry or get himself to like look super emotional, so he just buried his face into his.
Yeah,
I thought it was hilarious. Oh, the whole thing with the salesman coming alive and he's grabbing the kid and he's like, save me or I'll kill you. And I was like, just die. Please just die. Just get this fucking dude out of here. Dude,
he looked like the Incredible Melting Man. His whole head was like one big blob.
Oh, yeah. Just like all you saw was his eyes. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's a nightmare. Yeah, we get a couple vehicles that get blown up. And then they get backup. They get a military vehicle, like a gunner car. It's it literally has a steering wheel and then a mounted machine gun in the back. And then a bulldozer comes. This was great because I was watching the behind the scenes today and they were showing a lot of these scenes, and my 2-year-old loves all these like construction vehicles, and he's like, bulldozer! And I was like, yes, that's what it is, buddy. He was fascinated by all the trucks. He loved.
Oh, absolutely.
Like he asked me about my shirt and like what it was and all that. I was like, maybe you'll be my movie kid. Maybe one of my kids will like to watch movies with me. So yeah, those two vehicles show up. There's of course like plowing all the blown up cars. I like the one truck that got blown up and all the toilet paper got flown everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, dude, that's a waste of fucking toilet paper.
Listen, at this day and age, that's top dollar right there.
Was this also the scene where the beer truck got blown up too? And I went, not the Millers.
That's
not my Millers.
Yeah,
I think
that's
close,
later,
but it's later
after the machine gun.
Yeah, they all just blend together. All the
platform.
Honestly, I was expecting Bubba, asshole owner, to run out and start picking it up for free toilet paper.
Oh, getting the toilet paper? Yeah.
Yeah, free toilet paper.
It's just a little burnt.
Yeah,
it's still good.
That'll be fine.
Just peel off the stuff that you can't use. It's fine. It's all right.
It's just a little airborne. It's still good.
It's still good.
But this is when our least favorite character gets his due diligence as he is blasted by I just love how he shoots at the bulldozer and then just stands there knowing there is another vehicle with a machine gun mounted on the back. He just stands there like, how do you like that? You like that? I was like, you probably should duck. Just stand in that window. It's fine.
Well, did you mention that what's his name came out of the back?
So the owner comes out of the back room somewhere with the waitress, and he's fixing his belt and she's buttoning up her shirt.
Oh, I missed that. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Gross.
The little, that is gross.
We made it. We made it back there.
Yeah. They didn't make it.
Yeah,
we didn't use all the grease. We left some of it for you.
Well, I don't need to see any. Oh,
just out of the fryers and just scoop it up.
I don't need any more visuals on that because gross.
I don't ever want to imagine Pat Hingle doing it with anyone. Okay,
especially that character.
So again, Wendy goes outside and screams at the vehicles. We made you.
With a rocket launcher.
Yep, with the rocket launcher. And she gets blasted. She's because she gets shot and as she falls, she shoots the rocket launcher, hits the beer truck.
Which would have fire if she was the way she had her arm extended out with it, and all the back blast would have hit her. And the round would have gone up, not into the truck that it ended up hitting.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, whatever. Dramatic effect.
Yeah, one of the supervisors on the movie was literally talking about shooting the beer truck. They're like, we want to use actual beer cans, and they're like, well, we can't actually shoot beer cans that far into the air. It'll hit someone. It could kill them. And so they had to empty a bunch, thousands of beer cans so that they could, for this scene, they could.
StephenKing offered to do it himself.
The guy was literally like, yeah, we had to literally sit there and pour them out. It's like StephenKing wasn't pouring them out. He was pouring them out in his mouth.
He was just laying on the ground with his mouth open underneath these guys.
They're like, all right.
Hook it to my veins.
When I used to come visit Bonnie, we went camping by Bear Lake.
Is this a beer can explosion?
We lit beer cans on fire like fireworks.
What about the one is this the one that got thrown into the fire?
We had one that actually got thrown into the fire, and we didn't know where it went. It just kind of exploded and went.
Didn't it burn holes in some of the tents?
Yeah, we had holes in the tents and the chair. We were just kind of hiding. But that was Brandon. He was the pyro.
Oh, I know.
Boy lit fire to a lot of things that probably shouldn't have, like the butane in the bucket and burn his eyebrows off.
I told you about the time he tried to light his own pilot light and blew his ass across the fucking room.
Oh my god, really?
Hey, I got lit on fire by a bottle rocket because he would pull the sticks out of the bottle rockets, light them, and throw them.
Yep.
Oh, wow! People just living on the edge.
Clever.
We lived life dangerously back in Nebraska because we had nothing else to do.
Hey, he's also the one that lit the not the bottle rocket.
Sparkler bomb?
Not the sparkler bomb. The arterial shell.
Artillery shells and just throw them?
No.
Or set them down?
No. He put electric tape on the outside of it and set it off in the middle of the street.
Yeah. You can do that with sparklers too.
It was great.
Yeah.
We were nowhere near that one.
Cops came by after one of those we did. I remember that.
It was great.
Anyway.
So the gunner car uses Morse code to tell them to fill up the trucks. I love that the kid does it so fast. I'm like, there's no way. I don't care if you learned how to do Morse in Eagle Scouts or whatever he says he learned it.
He was an Eagle Scout.
But that's so quick. He was like, yep. I feel like even highly trained military people who deal with Morse all the time wouldn't do it that quickly.
Of all the letters that he wrote down, I don't think he would have got it that fast.
It was really fast. It was I don't remember what the whole message said, but it was pretty much fill up the trucks.
Yeah, someone's going to have to fill up the truck.
And there was a promise about not hurting the person who does it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when you kind of get this whole montage of everyone kind of working together to fill up the trucks. You got the, Billy, he's been out there for hours on end. He's falling apart. He's like, go take a nap, Billy. You need some sleep.
What is the leverage though here? What is the threat if they don't fill up the trucks? Because I feel like it just makes no sense to fill them up at this point.
It doesn't. It's like, do they use some sort of like telekinetic power to like blow their heads up? Like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Just let them run out of gas.
Yeah.
It was fine. They mentioned it was fine when it was just the big trucks. That it was when the little machine gunner truck came in, that's when the problem arose, because the big trucks were too heavy and they would go through the floor if they tried to go through the building. And it was the little one that could actually get inside and not crash through the floor because of weight.
Yeah.
That's what the thing was. That's why when they actually later on destroy the thing, you'll see like one of the trucks hit and go kind of like in.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, but
Emilio Estevez says that at some point.
But he tells the truck that none of his gas has been touched yet. Pretty much, like he can just fill them up as it goes.
And why do some of the gas pumps have like the automated clicker, but then the other one they're just like standing there filling and stuff?
Yeah.
The blisters.
And I guess
gloves on,
it was super hot when they were filming this movie. It was like 106 degrees, like almost every day. Like it was pretty ruthless conditions. And I do love that Hell's Bells kind of comes in as they run out of gas, and he's like, "As fun as this was, we're all out." But then, of course, we have to have. Oh wait, there was a tanker truck as one of the trucks that's driving around. We got more gas, so. Let's
why couldn't that tanker done a Top Gun video game where it puts the hose into another truck?
Yeah, like a mid-road refueling.
I mean, really?
They'd make it work.
Yeah.
It would work.
I mean, it was so funny because, again, I don't know why the actors who played Brett just kept getting the weirdest lines. Like they're filling up the trucks and like she goes up to this guy. I don't even know which guy this is. It's just one of the guys who's working there who's helping fill these trucks up. She's just like, she leans up against him. She's like, I hope they choke on it. She just walks away. I'm like, it's a weird line delivery, but all right.
I mean, she gets super close. I thought she was going to like kiss him or something. I'm like, that's not the guy you've been trying to get with this whole time. But okay.
I was just thinking if they did do a sequel, because a part of why the trucks need human help is because they don't have limbs and fingers and they can't do a lot of the stuff that humans can do. But if you were to make a sequel to this now, I think it'd be really funny because like the most complex like humanoid robots now would be like some dude's sex bot somehow gets hijacked by this radiation and some like waifu wanders in to like help all the trucks refill.
While it has like, never mind, I'm not going to say it.
I mean, they've got the robots now that can't be pushed over.
Yeah, well, it's got like the remnants of like this dude's like dick still in him. She like clamps it off. She's like, I'm out of here. I got to go fill some trucks up.
Oh man, she killed him in the middle of it and then went off to refill some trucks.
Yeah, she got filled up, so now she's going to go fill everybody else.
Oh God.
Full circle. And she's solar powered, so she just lives. She goes forever.
Renewable energy will be our downfall.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh
Damn
shit!
It.
Who knew we needed more oil? Damn you, dinosaur!
I never should have bought that nuclear powered sex bot. I feel like such an idiot. We can't even blow her up because it'd be a dirty bomb.
Can't stick my dick in it because it'll melt.
No, that's part of the purchase price. That's why.
Do you want your dick to melt? We got something. It's made by Vault-Tech from Fallout. Oh my god.
Bombs were made by Vault-Tech. Shit.
So yeah, Billy blows up the gunner car with the grenade. I do. I was like, when I tell you to run, run. I swear the actor didn't even know what the hell's going on. He's like, huh? What? What do I do? Okay, just gotta run.
When people tell me to run, I don't know what to do unless they tell me in advance to run.
I usually walk in the other direction, nowhere near where he wants me to go. Just where's it going? I don't know.
Over there.
He didn't understand my instruction to run.
Climb tree.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm glad I gotta use that legitimately for once. Fuck yes. It's not often I'm chased by a truck and have the option to climb a tree.
Please don't climb a tree.
But by golly.
It's great. So they finally decide to escape the Dixie Boy after this.
There's a Ranchero there. I want to point that out. Nobody cares. There's like a 73 or 74 Ranchero just sitting there. Carry on. Just an observation.
So they're in the middle of escaping. I do love that they give the bulldozer like a laugh. Like it starts laughing maniacally. Like I was like, all right. I guess that's what these things can do now. And Connie won't shut the fuck up the entire time. She's, don't you drop me down there. Oh, I don't want to get dirty. So it's like, oh my God, just go. Stop.
The guy lowered her down in the hole. Like, please just kill me.
Listen,
her or me.
I didn't talk about it earlier because I forgot, but there is a scene of Curtis and Connie sitting in a booth with a blanket over themselves, and she is laughing. Dude, he is finger banging her. I'm sorry. He is.
Yeah.
He's playing the instrument. All right. Because she is laughing and he's just looking around like, you guys saw nothing. I got the blanket. Don't you worry. So their plan is to go to the marina. We see the plane from earlier directly in a bus. Like, how did that work? How did that work?
We're playing Battleship.
Oh my God.
That is awesome.
It's like the end of Air America.
That's the story I want. I just imagine this is like Jaws. Like the bus is the boat and the plane is the shark. But
there you go.
But it's directly through the top. It's just,
I mean, literally.
Right. Listen, this is dark. Okay, this is my question. Were there children on this bus when this plane hit?
I'm hoping the person driving was going home.
Maybe.
End of the day.
On the
front with all the kids for some reason.
Well, the kids were playing the kids were playing baseball, so it was probably a weekend.
Oh, right.
It could have been a Friday.
But why would they be playing baseball?
This bus was supposed to pick the kids up after the game, but then they all got fucking run over in the field.
Maybe it was on the way. Yeah, maybe it was
on the way. Well, you see the
hit by
plane
soda
earlier.
cans and run over by rollers. Oh, no.
But you see the plane earlier, and it's during the day. I'm assuming it's the same plane.
Yeah.
That's true.
The pilot clearly kamikazed into this bus to save somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah. We've solved
vice
the mystery,
versa.
everybody.
The bus caught the plane to keep it from hitting somebody else.
I just wanted the bus to keep driving. Like, that's what we see. We just see the plane sticking out, but the bus is still going.
It's slowly going.
Carrying it somewhere. I'll help you, baby. Don't worry. The plane and bus are in love. Oh man.
Well, somebody is.
I do love the burger speaker. It's like, humans here. I guess that was StephenKing's voice.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I do love the fact where the kid goes up. He's like, this is for my dad. He just shoots it. And he's like, I don't want the gun anymore. The actor was like, I really wanted to keep the gun. The gun was fun.
Yeah, dude. Listen, I was so pissed, dude. I've been walked up you're I just need 3 double cheeseburgers, no onions.
Yeah, no onions. Make mine no onions.
Does that look like spit on my burger?
55 burgers, 55 fries.
Yeah. It's like spit. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Do you have a liter of cola? A liter?
A liter of what?
I don't want a large
A
farva.
liter of cola.
Oh,
damn
God.
it. Farva.
Damn it. That was good.
I forgot to bring that up yesterday. The pistol whip.
The ice cream.
I was so mad at myself.
The ice cream truck just comes out of nowhere. It just is there again. All right. They shoot at it. I do love the stunt work here is great where the truck comes out of the explosion and just grinds on the side.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
The truck's I've killed all the minors. Now I'm going after adults.
I was waiting for somebody to run after the ice cream truck just to get ice cream.
Yeah.
I would have scavenged the body for ice cream.
Oh, I would have
got to be some in there.
So listen, these cars, there's no way that ice cream truck is turning on a dime. All right. You just got to make sure you get in the right position. So it'll turn. You just kind of jump into the back, grab some ice cream, just ride around.
Well, and the most important part is it's still got ice cream in it because all the kids are fucking dead.
Exactly.
And it's been running the whole time. So the ice cream's cold. It has to be.
And you get the good stuff too.
Yeah, dude. You get the Sonic Pops where the eyes aren't in fucked up positions. They're actually lined up correctly.
I think they fuck them up at the factory. I don't think those popsicles ever resemble the characters.
They do not have quality control on there.
Oh my god. So
what's the tolerance but for the lazy eye? About give or take 2 or 3 inches.
This is Sanic, not Sonic.
Oh my god, my favorite part of the Chip and Dale live action movie was the fact that they put that ugly ass Sonic that was supposed to be in the Sonic movie. Oh my god, so good. This final part, it just is so weird because you have this guy walk up to a car. There's a dead woman hanging out. She's got a big old rock on her finger, and he goes up and he takes it. And then then Brett goes, "Hey, where's Brad?" And I went, "Who the fuck is Brad? Like who why do I care? Like, why is this a thing?" And he's
looting.
Well, I think it was more the fact that this is because the Goblin Truck shows back up and the Goblin Truck takes him out. So it's like, oh, he's back. But it's so quick. There is no final big showdown with the Goblin Truck. It's literally Billy runs out with the rocket launcher, shoots it once, hits it. I love the eye glowing on the Goblin, and it stops, and then he shoots it again and it blows up. Fully explodes.
So this is how this should have happened. So he should have rocketed it, right? Kind of goes to a stop. And then it starts moving again. And then out of the front of it, it breaks open. It's like a goblin van.
It's the Hobgoblin truck now.
Yes. Yeah. And then that one gets blown up, and then it's like a goblin Pinto. It's like a smaller one.
Then
it just keeps getting smaller.
Then a Spider-Man truck comes out of nowhere. And what is happening? Yeah. It's the weirdest crossover I've ever seen.
The Spider-Man truck whips around and it's its exhaust pipes and just shoots web all over its face.
And Emilio feels terrible about it. Emilio brings the goblin face back to its house, and then the goblin face's son walks in on him doing it, and he's like, "I'll never forgive you, Emilio."
Oh, we completely
Who's that? Who's the son of a bitch? Who's the actor? I can't think of his fucking name that played Harry Osborn.
Franco.
So it's just James Franco on the front of a Honda Accord, his whole face.
You call me truck, Emilio.
That's all he deserves is a Honda. I completely forgot to talk about the fact that the trucks, after they escape, the trucks just completely demolish the Dixie Boy and it blows up. I was like, that's such a cool shot. And I completely just went, yeah, we're not going to talk about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're too busy about the James.
Yeah. The Goblin Truck talking to its own reflection in a mirror.
I needed Willem Dafoe in this movie. Damn it. Oh my God.
He should play the Goblin Truck in the remake.
I'm somewhat of a research vehicle myself.
Are they going to make it talk in the Are they going to make it talk in the remake? It's just going to be Willem Dafoe's voice.
Perfect.
I'll get you, Emilio.
Listen, this is what I want now. It's stupid, but I want it. I want the entire, first 2 Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies done, but by Pixar as cars.
Oh my God.
That'd just be the whole thing.
And this truck is the Green Goblin. That'd be perfect.
Oh, God.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's like, ka-chow.
With that thought, I need a break. Right. Hang on.
We can get what's his name? Chick Hicks to play Vulture.
Stop making me laugh. Damn it. This is why I need a break. It's your fault.
But yeah, this is the end. They kind of they escape on the boat, which the funniest thing is that Yardley Smith, she's talking about the movie. She's like, yeah, this movie didn't really follow its own rules, and I feel like that's a big problem with why people didn't like it so much. She's like, this was a big boat. It had an engine. Wouldn't the boat
but
just...
the cars weren't getting taken over. I don't get it.
But the plane... I'm just confused. I'm like, what are the rules here? Aliens that got blown up by Russia? What are we talking about?
Well, that's the weirdest part, is that it seems like the implication is somehow that the more technologically advanced something is, the more likely the aliens have taken control of it. So how did a satellite defeat the aliens? Like, isn't that the first thing they would get control of? Like when they were even remotely close, like their Wi-Fi would reach that first.
Yeah, like they just dusted the Earth. Like we know they have satellites, but fuck it, we'll just ignore those for now.
Oh my god.
What?
Surprise butt sex.
It might be surprise butt sex.
It's like, I know this planet has a big gun, but I'm going to check it for knives first. It's like, what are you doing?
Yes. That's logic.
That is the more important thing.
Oh, I bet the aliens were European. That's why.
Oh, there you go.
They're
we don't allow these.
We use clubs here. Okay.
No, I was gonna say, like, does the ending just to, like, remind you of the remake of Dawn of the Dead?
Oh, for sure.
Let's go to an island.
Except we don't see what happens after over the credits in the post credit scenes.
That's true. Just watch Day of the Dead. That idea was done way better than you.
I really wanted, as they were showing the boat sail off, the Goblin Truck resurrects itself and just jumps off the side of the bank and just completely blows up the boat. And then they both just sink to the bottom of wherever they're at. That would have been the best.
It'll roar. It'll roar.
Yeah, like the end of Jaws. Or do we use that roar, or do we use the roar from Jaws: The Revenge, where it's
yes,
it comes out of the water. Lorraine Gary's looking out, going, "Why am I in this movie?"
They used that roar in they used that roar for a Jeep flipping in the movie The Border recently for our show.
I did. Oh, that movie.
The Border?
Yeah, with Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with it. Like, yeah, I really want this to be the ending now. Like, this is the remake ending. Like, I want this truck to either like just ramp and just hit it and just kill everybody. Like,
it boggles my mind that Lorraine Gary went, yeah, I'll be in the 4th Jaws movie. Her fucking husband was the president of Universal at the time.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
That's the only reason she was in the first one.
Yes, that is true, but she was still good. I love Lorraine Gary. But in the first 2 movies, the 4th one was like, Michael Caine can't even save this movie. But don't worry, everybody. Jaws 3 and Jaws: The Revenge are getting 4Ks, and you know damn well I'm buying both of them. I don't give a shit.
Oh my gosh! Wait, so is it getting like a 3D Blu-ray re-release?
I don't think so. It's not being marketed as Jaws 3D. It's just being marketed as Jaws 3.
Dude, I just want Jaws. They just need to fix the name for Jaws 2. And just be Jaws 2, The Misunderstanding. Like, that's what this fucking... Please tell me you know what I'm talking about, Patrick. Have you heard that episode?
I have not, no.
Okay.
That was an early one for us. Very, very
early episode, and I'm not letting it die. Watch Jaws 2.
Yeah.
The next time you ever watch Jaws 2, and just realize the whole thing is a huge misunderstanding. The shark's trying to help the people in the water, but it can't. It doesn't have hands. It can only use its mouth. It's just, if you watch in that context, it surprisingly lines up.
That's funny.
Really weird.
Like it accidentally crashed into the boat and that kid fell over, so the girl was like trying to pull her boyfriend back up, and the shark's like, "Oh, I'll help."
Yeah, he grabs it and pulls it to the boat, and his head hits the boat. He's like, "Oh fuck, I went too hard." And like, it was just all a misunderstanding. I'm telling you, dude, it's there.
That's
and
awesome.
It's like, no, what the fuck's the main actor in Jaws 2?
Roy Scheider.
It's like, no, Roy Scheider, don't grab that cable. It's electrical. Like, he tries to get it from him, and then
he's like trying to avoid the shark's mouth, but in the movie, you think he's actually like forcing it into his mouth. He's like, "Don't do it."
Yeah. He's
You've
like,
got so much to live for, Roy
You'll
Scheider.
kill yourself. Yes. All a misunderstanding.
Again,
It's
why
like
is
ants that
Vaughn
come back.
still the fucking mayor?
You kill the one ant, and the brothers come back.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's
Oh
right.
god! But yeah, we get the text of the fact that the Russians blew up a UFO, and I went, "Huh? What?"
And so so this epilogue, I pulled it up here. I'm looking at it now. It literally starts with the words 2 days after, comma. Now, in any other movie, that would
2 days later.
2 days later, not 2 days after.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, "What? After what? What are we talking about?" And then so it says 2 days after a large UFO was destroyed in space by a Russian weather satellite, which makes it almost feels like it's not related to what's already been going on. It's like, we know about the meteor thing. 2 days later, by coincidence, a UFO was destroyed in space by a Russian satellite. And then it says approximately 6 days later, and it's like, so does that mean 8 days total? Or are we counting 6 days like from the beginning?
Yeah.
From right now?
What are we doing?
I don't know, because she said that we only have to survive for 7 more days. So 2 days plus 6 would be 8. I don't understand. Like, it's very weird. It's very weird the way that they've worded this epilogue. I don't get it.
Do you think this is like sticking it to like the Ruskies because this was like still produced during the Cold War?
I guess. This was, and they're just like, yeah, weather satellites my ass.
Yeah, like we just tangle the Russians into this, even though they've had no bearing on any of this at all for this whole fucking movie.
We'll have them save the planet. That'll really rile them up. It's like, what?
That's right.
They're the good guys.
What?
I know, right?
I'm so confused by our logic here. We're here. Let's keep going. But yeah, that is the end of Maximum Overdrive. Now we're going to go around the room and talk about our final thoughts on the movie. And we're going to start with our guest, Patrick. What did you think of Maximum Overdrive?
I think there's really a lot to enjoy here. I think that it gets started great, and obviously for financial reasons, it couldn't have kept that pace the whole time. But I would have watched a montage where we never learn anybody's name, and it's literally just machines killing people for 2 hours. Like, that would have been fine with me. But this doesn't do that, and it tries to slow down and tell a story, but it doesn't really care that much about the story. And so the pacing is really weird. It's a book pacing. It's not a movie's pacing. So you have scenes where a bunch of stuff happens, and then 20 minutes, 25 minutes of quiet, and then scenes where a bunch of people die in a row, and then it's quiet again for 20 minutes. And it's like, this is a weird way to do it, alternating back and forth like that. I would have appreciated just building steam the whole time, or just stay a crazy montage throughout. But there's definite pacing issues that make me a little bit bored in the middle of it, and even toward the end. And it's very anticlimactic that they're just like, and then we got on a boat and we left, and that's the end of the story. And it's like, I want to see more people get smashed. I want to see more robots hitting people in the junk with soda cans. Like, just keep doing that for 2 hours and I'm happy. I don't need a love story. I just want to see people get hit with shit.
No, it just hit me. I'm sorry, you done, Patrick? I don't want to.
Yeah, no, those are my thoughts.
This was the ending. Like, they all get on the boat and they start sailing away, but secretly stowed away on the boat was the fucking lawnmower from earlier in the movie.
There you go. Perfect.
Because we need a payoff for the lawnmower.
And that's all you hear, is just the lawnmower starting.
Yeah, it's like the end of Big Trouble in Little China. You see, like, the lawnmower on the back of the boat.
Yes. Please.
Oh, that's so good.
Well.
Oh, you want me to go?
You started it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just had bullshit to say. That's all I had. But that's fair. I'll go. I was never going to touch what Patrick said, so I'm going to do my low brow version of it. But I enjoyed the movie. I think it's fun. I think it does have its ups and downs. It's quirky. It's a Stephen King movie. You've seen the Stephen King movie, like that he was like an 80s, 90s Stephen King movie. This is what this fucking movie is. It totally feels like it. The music's good if you like AC/DC, and it's cool. There's cool special effects. There's a lot of cool practical shit involving the trucks, which makes sense. And it's neat. I think it's a fun movie. It drags a little bit. It's got a little bit of bullshit, and it's fun. It's enjoyable.
Well, not to make anybody upsetty spaghetti. This is the first time I've seen this movie.
Oh, nice.
Me being a Stephen King fan, I've read probably 80% of his books. Had no clue about this movie. I had a feeling watching this that it was because it was R-rated. That I wouldn't have been allowed to watch this growing up. But it definitely wasn't one of the stories that I had read either. And I have owned.
Do you have this collection? It's called Night Shift.
I don't know if I had owned it, but I know my sister-in-law owned it, and I tried to read it. But I think I picked out Tommy Knockers instead to read, because I know she owns it. But I'm gonna have to go back and read.
Yeah.
Read this one. Because I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
You'll hate it.
I might read the short story before we cover trucks.
Listen, I read Christine before I watched the movie, and he can contest to this. I yelled at that movie.
She hates so much.
I'm like, this is not how that happened. The Shining, too. I yelled at it because I read The Shining before I watched the movie. And I'm like, I'm yelling at this movie. But I would watch this again. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yes, there's a lot of things we question. there was a lot of times I looked at him and I was like, huh?
We even questions the movies we love. That's what's great about us.
I enjoyed it. There was a lot of practical effects that I was like spot on.
Yeah.
You know, when you have these movies that are all full of practical effects and it makes it that much better. Then when you start getting to the CG stuff, you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
So this one was definitely a not perfect, but you know, I'd watch it again.
Yeah, totally.
Even if I had to watch it by myself, because he's one of those that is like, I don't want to watch this movie. I'm like, okay, I'll watch it by myself.
I feel like watching a movie. Like I'm like really particular. Like she's like, "I'm gonna watch this." Like, nah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll watch it by myself. I'd watch it again.
What's I've been doing with Godzilla? Like I just like was on YouTube. Like, oh, the Godzilla channel's on. Click it and just sit there and watch Godzilla movie.
And I'll still watch that stuff, and I don't even have to watch the whole movie to know what's going on because I've been married to him for almost 17 years actually. I've watched several Godzilla movies several times. So when he turns stuff like that on, I'm just like, I don't even need to know where it started. I can watch it.
Yeah, because you can just be like, the monster is the bad guy and the buildings are the good guy. And
you left yesterday. You left yesterday to go pick up Victor. And you
Godzilla
left it on.
Megalon?
Yeah, you left it on.
Jet Jaguar.
Yeah. I watched it. I had woke up from a nap. I was like, hey, I know what's going on. So.
Yeah, my kids have never seen a Jet Jaguar movie, but they have like 6 Jet Jaguar toys. So nice. They know the character well.
Megalon, Godzilla versus Megalon is good.
They technically have 2 they could pick for him because he was only in Godzilla vs Megalon, and then they did that short film last year for his 50th anniversary.
It's good.
I had some friends that hosted a show called Cinemarathon where they would watch franchises in their entirety. And the 2 biggest episodes were James Bond and Godzilla because those are the longest running franchises. And we did that. The James Bond one, we spent like 3 days watching every James Bond movie in a row up to, I think, Quantum of Solace was the last one at the time. And then we did Godzilla starting from the beginning the whole way through. And we did like the American and Japanese versions back to back at the beginning.
Yep.
So, but that was a fun one.
We started watching the Bond movies before Ridley was born. So that's been over 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Before we moved into this house, we started watching the Bond movies from the beginning.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed them. Every one of them.
And they're all pretty long, too.
Yeah.
Just watch Godzilla movies. Bonds are good, but just watch Godzilla movies.
We watched
biased.
Godzilla movies, but the Bond movies, when I was in high school, I was in band, and we did a James Bond.
No.
Skyfall?
I'm trying to remember what movies we did. We didn't do Skyfall. That was before. That was before me. I graduated in 2004.
Oh, that would have been after you then. After you were in school.
After, sorry, that's what I meant.
I don't know which one it would be at that time. I don't know Bond movies.
That was probably a Pierce Brosnan run, right? That was probably his.
Die Another Day, probably.
Yeah, because I think.
But
Daniel Craig. When did Casino Royale come out? Like 2006?
I can't remember the
year. That was after.
I love that movie.
But I was so happy when that was excited. That was like the director or what I'm not sure what they're called. I was in 8th grade when it started. I was so excited. I'm like, James Bond. I love James
when
Bond.
Goldeneye shit came out?
Yeah. It was like Die Another Day and stuff like that. I was so excited. Like, I can still listen to it. It's recorded. I still go back and watch it. I love it. So,
all right. As for Maximum Overdrive,
Yes. Derail.
This is
hey, if he doesn't do it, I have to do it.
This is my favorite So Bad It's Good movie. It's just a guilty pleasure for me. I know of all of its flaws. I mentioned them all today, but I still love every second of this movie because I can laugh at it, at all the dumb dialogue, at all the just ridiculous over-the-top characters. It's just such a wild movie that I have now watched twice already this year because another podcast was covering it, and I was like, you know what? I haven't seen Maximum Overdrive in a couple of years. Let me go throw it up on Tubi real quick. And yeah, this movie is it's so bad, but it is so good at the same time. I always have such a great time, and I need and as much as like remakes have just controlled Hollywood over the last like few couple decades, like I will take a remake of this movie as long as it is done right and it's done by Joe Hill and we have all practical effects again. Like I don't want CG trucks. I don't want CG. Like I want it made like this movie was made.
We need real blades in the lawnmower.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody else has to lose an eye. That's gonna be the other one.
Yep. Get the same guy back. Fully blind him.
I think he may be dead.
You can lose the other eye.
But yeah, this is a great movie. I love this movie so much.
We can rebuild him.
Dan, why don't you back up farther from the microphone so that no one can hear you?
Okay.
Listen, I'm the only one that has to eat the mic.
Sorry, I keep leaning
Not
back.
you.
I lean away from the mic to breathe in.
So fun when I edit and I'm like, why is Dan so quiet? And then I remember watching it and you'd be like, yeah.
He's up. He's over here. He's singing Chocolate Rain.
All right, well, now we're going to go over to social media and see what you all thought of Maximum Overdrive. As you know, every week over on Twitter /X, Instagram, and Threads, I throw up the movie that we're going to be covering, and then I let you comment on that movie. So and we got quite a few. We're going to start over on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it nowadays. Our first one is from our good friend Antonio from the Callworthy Studios, who says, "You're a douche. That's literally my next episode." And I went, we've done it like 2 or 3 times this year. It's pretty funny. I don't know. They're probably not going to come out at the same time because we record episodes like 3 weeks in advance. So they probably won't come out at the same time. But if they do, I'm
guesting with him for that. So no, that's not true.
Oh my god, that'd be fucking hilarious.
You double dose of Maximum Overdrive.
Like, is this guy like a Maximum Overdrive expert or something?
No, because you came here to. We just completely destroyed the movie and talked. We just sounded like a bunch of. Hillbillies talking about Maximum Overdrive. You're gonna go over there where he actually has knowledge, like just oozing out of his ears.
The film critic vocabulary.
Oh my god, it's insane. Our next one is from I Seen It Pod, who said it's the second best thing Stephen King has ever done, second only to writing The Running Man. The soda machine scene makes me laugh every time. It's a top 10 movie to throw on in the background if you have people over. I agree. It is one of those movies. Our next comment is from our good friends, the Doom Generation podcast, who just said, just rewatched this again the other night. Still fun, and that green Goblin Truck is forever iconic. Our next one is from @eBuddy061, or our good friend Ebony, who says, one of my favorite episodes we ever did. Jess and I laughing at killer Coke bottles will never not be funny to me. Such a stupidly fun flick. That is the best way to describe this movie. It is stupidly fun.
Yeah.
It is. You accept the fact that it's not good. Like film wise, it is not good, but you have fun watching it.
Yeah, it's mindless entertainment.
Yes. Our next one is from @NickBlackburn16, who says, this movie made me afraid of semi-trucks my entire childhood. One of the best movies ever made. Plus, it has an awesome soundtrack. You can't go wrong with some AC/DC. And our final one over there is from @SuperNerd525751, who says, I love this movie. Not only is it really funny, but it makes me wish we had other Stephen King movies that are horror comedies. I just want Stephen King to direct another movie before he dies. All right.
Literally.
Now I'm going to hop over. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, when you finish, I got a morbid thing I'm going to end this episode on. But carry on.
Of course you do, Dan. Of course you do. Now over on Instagram, we have one from our friends over at the Give Me Back My Action Movies, who said, I absolutely adore this movie, and I'm friends with Joey in the movie. That's pretty cool. Maybe I can hook.
Fuck's Joey?
Maybe I can hook up an interview with Joey from Maximum Overdrive. That'd be pretty dope.
Hell yeah!
Our next one is from our good friend Steve from the Bucket of Chum podcast, who says, "This is a blast. Just cocaine-fueled nonsense. The other adaptation, Trucks, was a bit better than I expected, but not as fun as this."
Interesting.
And then our last one.
Don't spoil it.
Well, did he spoil it? He just said he liked
it.
That's a spoiler.
Our last one from Instagram is from our good friend Nate over at Give Me Back My Horror Movies, who says, "Fucking amazing, Emilio! We made you." And then we do have a couple. No, not that one. We do have a couple over on Threads. Actually, we just have one from the VHS Abyss, who said, "Freaking love this movie." So thank you to everybody who commented. Make sure to follow us on all the social medias at Dissect That Film if you want to participate in our conversations on the movies we are covering. Patrick, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on. Thank you for enduring 2+ hours of our nonsense.
Thanks so much for having me.
Fun.
This has been great.
Awesome. I'm so happy.
Thank you.
Until he clicks off, he's like, "Jess, I'm never going on that."
No, fuck these assholes.
No, but thank you so much. We had such a good time here. I'm like literally dying. My eyes are on fire, but it was worth the 2+ hours to get to talk to you.
Well, we'll have to do it again sometime for sure.
Absolutely. So please share with everyone who listens where they can find you and your wonderful show.
We are Vintage Video Podcast, and basically all of our links are available at LINKTREE/Vintage Video Pod. So we put all the socials up on there. We have our Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Letterboxd, Patreon, all the usuals.
You know, we use a Linktree too, and I never share that everything is on a Linktree. It would make it so much easier instead of talking about everything we're on. Just go to our Linktree. It's fine. But the Linktree for Vintage Video will be down in the description. Like I said, we talk about your show all the time, so people should know who you are and your show. And we've played your ad in a few of the episodes, so yeah, they know of you. So please listen to the Vintage Video. It is one of the best out there. It is one of my weekly listens. I listen every single week. I endure some of the atrocious movies that they have to watch for their show.
There's not a lot of people that are willing to watch all of these titles, so I'm always impressed by it.
As for us, the only other place I want you to go to, well, at least check out, is our Patreon, patreon.com/dissectthatfilm, where for a single $1, you can get early access to episodes, you get blooper reels, stuff like that. We are actually probably starting before this episode even airs. We're going to be letting the free tier members have access to our polls, so we can try to get some more poll numbers over there. So that'll be a new thing, because for our movie next week, it was chosen by you. Each one of us here at Dissect That Film chose a film for a potential episode next week to end our Movies with Wheels month. I picked Duel from 1973. 1973, I think, is when it came out. Steven Spielberg's technically first film. Then Dan picked The Italian Job from 2003. And Angela, what did you pick?
You expect me to remember that?
Very Little Toaster.
Oh, Joyride. Joyride from 2001. Yeah. Paul Walker's Joyride, not the Joyride that came out last year.
Ew,
it drives me nuts. The movie actually looks pretty good, but it drives me nuts when they're like, we're going to just use the same title. And it just confuses everybody. But
stop copying me.
We have a winner. And next week's episode will be 2003's The Italian Job, which is pretty crazy because we started off the month with Gone in 60 Seconds.
You won something.
You won, dude. Good job. We started off the month with Gone in 60 Seconds, which was a movie that I had only ever seen the remake, never knowing there was an original. Well, The Italian Job is another one where I only watched the remake, not knowing there was an original.
You're fired.
So yeah, it's cool that we're kind of bookending the month with kind of an original and then a remake. So that'll be fun.
It's
been a long time coming.
Based
I have 2 copies of it back there. I literally have it on my shelf, and then I was looking through a bag and I was like, why do I have 2 sealed copies of 2003's The Italian Job? I don't know.
We just want another excuse to add another note to our Mark Wahlberg book club.
What?
I don't know. Is Mark Wahlberg in that movie?
He is in that movie. You're right. He is.
I meant, like, we're just adding another thing to the Mark Wahlberg book club. Like, it's another Mark Wahlberg
another
movie.
tally mark.
There you go.
But yeah, also we have our $5 tier where you guys get access to our Patreon exclusive show called The Monster Zone, where once a month we spin a wheel and land on a monster movie and talk about it. And that show is hosted by Dan and Angela. Dan, I was kidding. All right, you don't have to wave your hand.
No, I was just doing the thing.
He just
doing the thing. I had to get her, and then
he likes this guy. This guy is his baby.
He's been there forever.
So yeah, if you'd like to support us financially, please go to patreon.com/dissect that film and subscribe to any one of those tiers. But if you can't do that, that is perfectly okay. We only ask you to go to your favorite podcast apps, leave us 5 stars. People say it's good. It's good for your podcast. Some people say maybe it doesn't matter so much. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Just leave us 5 stars because it makes us feel good inside. It's a morale booster, as Patrick would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can go on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, leave us 5 stars, leave us a review. You can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/dissect that film. You can see us in video form. Hey, YouTube. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe over there because it's all free. It doesn't cost you a thing other than your finger clicking on a mouse. And we appreciate all the support. Dan, stop hitting your mic. I'm gonna freak.
I didn't.
That was his mouth.
Noise. I legit didn't touch it. I just made the noise.
Jeez.
Yes.
We're so unprofessional.
He's very great with mouth noises.
All right.
I was doing the mouse click.
Do we have anything else we want to mention before we get out of here? I always feel like I forgot something, but you know what? That's just kind of part of the course.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end this on a somber note.
What's that, Dan?
Well, because you talked about the person that mentioned that this made them afraid of semi trucks. This didn't do that to me. This is ironic. I'm gonna end this on not ironic. This is a morbid note thing, but it didn't hit me until that person said that. But I've actually always had a bit of trepidation around semi trucks because when I was younger, had a really good family friend of ours. His 3-year-old kid was about the same age as me. Well, no, I was a couple years older, and he was running through a parking lot, and a tractor trailer backed up and hit him and killed him.
That's crazy.
He was a really close family friend, and every time like I'm in a parking lot with kids, my kids, or just out in general, I am always leery of like large trucks or like vehicles backing up.
That's news to me.
Yeah.
I just assumed.
He's a really close friend of mine. He was 3. I was like 5 or 6. And I just got my mom was like, "Hey, he died."
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow, morbid." I told you, thought it was fucking real.
Thanks, Dan.
Thought it was a joke. That's what you get.
Well, at least your mom didn't break it the way that Pat Hingle did.
Wizard of Oz.
What now?
I said, at least your mom didn't say it the way Pat Hingle said it in the movie.
Oh yeah, the bitch got smoked.
to the kid. That's insane.
It's been a long time.
I just always assumed it was a friend of yours, the way your mom told that story.
Yeah, she was a really close family friend. Like her.
It was your friend, though.
Well, yeah, but it was her kid. But we were all anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, I think that's about it for this wild and long episode. But until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming, and that is Patrick of the Vintage Video Podcast. And this has been another episode of the Dissect That Film Podcast. We'll see y'all again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.